It's time for Shawn and Maya in the morning.
Quick pitch to Walter, looking for the record, cuts back, he's got it, he's out of it at 25 to the 26-yard line. Walter Payton becomes the National Football League all-time leading rusher. Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship. Chicago has won the Stanley Cup. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series.
A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it, go to Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning on this House Music Monday edition. I'm your boy, the Superback Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. Man, do we have a phenomenal show for you. Has it been one hell of a weekend? A lot to talk about. Let's get right to it. Guys, I'm your boy, the Superback Shawn Sierra. And if you're watching us on Facebook Live, you know what I didn't do? I didn't do this. Hold on. Watch this on Facebook Live. Well, then I guess you found us on Facebook. There we go. Now it looks like I got some color. There we go. If you're not watching us on Facebook Live, I guess you found us on Facebook. And if you're not following us on Facebook, get with the program. Get with the program. All right, here's what you do. You go to Facebook, you type in Sports Zone Chicago. Okay, you click the like button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago on Facebook. All right, perfect. Now, if you're watching this, well, listen, while you're on Facebook, do me a favor. Go to the show's page. Go to Shawn and Maya in the morning. Okay, go to Shawn and Maya in the morning. Like that page, and now you're following the show's page as well. All right, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, excellent. All right, and if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, come on, man, get with the program. Get with it. All right, go to YouTube, type in Sports Zone Chicago, click the subscribe button, and now you're following Sports Zone Chicago. So not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, okay, but you're going to get our other 5 live shows throughout the week as well. If you're watching us on the app, that is even more excellenter. If you haven't downloaded the app, come on, man, get with the program. All right, here's what you do. All right, wherever you get your apps from, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Walmart, Kmart, 7-Eleven, Zemsky, Zaire, Macy's, wherever you get your apps from, you type in Sports Zone Chicago, you download it, you take us with you on the go. Not only do you get Shawn and Maya in the morning 3 days a week, not only do you get our other 5 live shows, not only are they archived there like they are on Facebook and YouTube, guess what? But we give you a slew, and I mean a slew of articles, thanks to my man himself, Clarence Council III. Big shout out to Clarence Council III. Listen, you can also tweet the show. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy, that's CHI at Sports Zone Shy. But listen, if you want to follow me, just me, personally online, you want to know what I did? Well, let me tell you what I did. You want to know what I did? Here's what I did. I mean, nice and easy for you folks. Nice and easy. One handle for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, the Snapper, and TikTok. Even though I still haven't made a video yet. I don't know what to do. Anyway. All one handle at the Shawn Sierra. If you want to follow my lovely co-host, Maya Akai, you can follow her on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. And if you want to follow her on Instagram, because you do it just for the gram, because you're an IGer, follow her at Maya_Akai. It's MAYA.
All right, looks like we lost Shawn. So what I think he was going to say is he'd be remiss if he didn't introduce me. I'm Ivan Vargas. I produced the show, and while Shawn is getting things set up again, I guess I'll just go ahead and run things. Hey guys, don't remember, just download the app wherever you get your apps from, whether it be iTunes, the Amazon store, or Google Play Store. Also, remember to follow Sports Zone Chicago on YouTube. Just go ahead and search Sports Zone Shy. Did we get him back? No, we didn't. Shawn, you might have to just go ahead and log out and log back in. That might be the path for you. Also, join the conversation. Join us. Talk sports. Shoot the shit. We'll get to know you. You get to know us, and we have a great show. Also, well, actually, I don't know what else Shawn has planned right now. Looks like he's struggling to get back on. Give me 1 second while I do that. We're going to go, you know what? We're going to start with an early commercial. We're going to reset this and come back to you the right way. So we're going to start with a commercial. We'll come back and we'll do it the right way.
It's time for Shawn and Maya in the morning.
Quick pitch to Walter, looking for the record, cuts back, he's got it, he's out of it at 25 to the 26-yard line. Walter Payton becomes the National Football League all-time leading rusher.
Jordan, open, Chicago with the lead. The Chicago Bulls have won their 6th NBA championship. Chicago has won the Stanley Cup. Palmero over the head of Jenks. Uribe charges, throws, out! And the White Sox have won the World Series. A little bouncer slowly toward Bryant. He will glove it, go to Rizzo. It's in time. And the Chicago Cubs win the World Series.
What up, what up, what up? I'm back, baby. Yes, welcome to Shawn and Maya in the morning. I don't know what happened. We got to do, is this like Groundhog's Day again? Is that what it is? No. You know what it was? It was something on my end. I apologize. I apologize, man. Apologize, man. But we're back, baby. Don't worry about it. We are back. And listen, we had a phenomenal show. We have a phenomenal show prepared for you. We have had a lot going on this weekend. Listen, I am fired up about the Sox, the Cubs, the NBA Finals is going on in that game. That series is a barn burner. I tell Dito, I said hello as well. Okay. I think that's awesome. Listen, we have a phenomenal show. And listen, first and foremost, I want to say thank you for tuning in. We appreciate the love. We appreciate the support. You know, as I was telling you, if you want to follow me, all one same handle: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok at the Shawn Sierra. I still got to make my first TikTok video. I don't know what to make. I didn't do that. You know what? When that went out this way, there we go. I don't know what to make. You know, everyone. I'm not dancing. I did enough dancing on Saturday. That was crazy with my guy Carlos at his daughter's birthday party. That was insane. But I'm not gonna. I don't know what to make for a TikTok video. But we got to start getting some TikTok videos made. Apparently that's the thing to do. You got to get on TikTok, draw more people in. All right. That's what Gary Vee tells me. So, you know, what does he know? He's only got 37 trillion followers. So I don't know. Who knows? But anyway, as I was saying, all right, listen. You can tweet us at Sports Zone Shy, CHI, at Sports Zone Shy. Following my lovely co-host Maya Kai on Facebook and Twitter at the Sports Chica. Follow her on Instagram if you're an IG, or follow her at Maya_Kai, MAYA_AKAI. And I would be remiss if I didn't bring him out. He's a man who makes everything run smoothly. You saw him on here a few minutes ago, kind of scooping up and picking up for me because my end was a little off. It's my man, my Puerto Rican Swiss Army knife. Very bittersweet day today. Ivan Vargas. Ivan, what's up, Papa? How are you?
What's up, man? It was a little hectic there for a minute. I didn't know what to do. I don't know why I didn't know what to do. I was like, is he coming back? Like, usually you come back like within a couple seconds. So I was like, damn, do I have to? Is he there? Like, Shawn? Hello? No, I'm good, man. I'm good. It is a bittersweet day. Today will be my last show. I'll address it at the end of the show before I go ahead and sign off. But yeah, it should be fun. I want to have a good show. Even though we started out with a hiccup, it should be a good ride the rest of the way. let's get it started because I'm excited. A lot of basketball. You know what? Real quick before we do get into it, the Cubs aren't as shitty as I thought, but they're not that good. You know what I mean? They're just not there yet. The White Sox look really, really good. Scared the bejesus out of everybody on the South Side, I bet, late in that game. But they look better. Burger bombs, burger doubles, double burgers.
Yeah.
Bubba Burger, baby. He's swinging the butt back good, man.
Yeah, he is. And that's a big dilemma for Sox fans and for Tony La Russa. You know, Burger by no means is more talented than Yoel Moncada by any stretch, but he's playing much, much better. So it's not about how talented you are; it's how well you play, and that's the issue.
Is Burger Bomb going to make the list of like restaurant, specialties? Is it going to be the Burger Bomb over there on the South Side, or some of the South Side eateries?
That's a good idea. I wonder if the people over at Freddy's, that's where they made the Yerminator burger last year. Freddy's on 31st. That's a good question. You know, we got to dive into that because the Burger Bomb would be awesome. A burger would. Oh, a Burger Bomb or a burger? Yeah, I think that'd be. You know what? I got to be over that.
Burger. I like burger. Burger sounds good. I like it.
Oh, dude, that's gonna be. Yeah, that would be kind of dope. And they got to come up with a cool one. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Patent pending. Hey, listen, we'll have a phenomenal show, but we need you to get interactive. Man, look, we got a lot of people on the chat line already. And listen, I am excited about it. Cornelia Squall's in the house. Good morning, Papa. What up? Vernon Fairley in the Mickey Ficky house. Michelle Walls in the house, baby. Armando Lara Jr. in the house, and he's watching with his grandson, Armando Meterio Lara the fourth. Woo! He's watching. That's what I'm talking about. Dito Armandito is watching, and I appreciate it. Shout out to the little man over there. You know, he's a dude, man. Dito is the dude. And I know a whole bunch of the other usual suspects are going to chime in any moment or throughout the show and give us their thing. But the most important thing, wherever you're watching this from, whatever platform, Facebook, YouTube, our app, whatever platform you're watching, because leave a quick question or comment right there. It'll come up on the screen. And our super producer, I will get it up on here. We'll make it part of the show. And that's what makes this show so great. Your questions, your comments, your smart aleck remarks, we incorporate them in the show. You feel part of the show. It makes it a lot more entertaining and a lot more fun.
I think Armando hit it on the head. I think your TikToks should be your walks with your mom. You do it all the time.
You know what? That could be a good one. Yeah.
There you go.
Good job, Junior. All right, Papa. I will do that. Well, I don't know if we're going to walk today. It's a little rainy and damp out in these parts over here. Out south. Not south. Out south. Oh, listen, we have a phenomenal show for you. And, man, I'm excited. Joseph should be coming on in a moment. But at 10 o'clock, Chris Bowden, newly hired at WGN Sports. He's going to come on. He's going to talk with us. We're going to talk a little White Sox. We're going to talk a little Bears with Chris. He is a veteran of the Chicago sports scene for many, many, many years here. And you know what? Want to hear a funny story real quick? Good. I'm glad. So I had no idea that Chris Bowden is married to my buddy's wife. I had no idea. So my buddy, my high school quarterback. So my high school quarterback is Dave Oldinger. Went to St. Dennis, and obviously went to St. Rita because he was my high school quarterback. And I've known Dave-O for how long? Since I was 14, 15, and had no idea. And maybe about 2 years ago, I found out that Chris was married to Dave's older sister. I was like, get the hell out of here. That is so crazy. Small world. Yeah. So Chris Bowden, 10 o'clock. Looking forward to it. At 11 o'clock, our man Darnell Mayberry from The Athletic. He's going to come on. We're going to talk NBA Finals. That was the Golden State Warrior team that I knew. That was the Golden Warriors State team that I picked to win in 6. That was the Golden State Warrior team that kind of got us going back 4 or 5 years. and reminiscing. Was it a fluke? Did Boston give up in the second half because they already had one in the bag? Or is that Golden State team really back for good for the rest of the series? Because if they are back for the rest of the series, you better watch out. You better watch out now. You better watch out now, all you Boston Celtic fans. Darnell Mayberry is going to talk with us at 11 o'clock today. And it's going to be an interesting conversation because, man, the Golden State Warriors are a very interesting bunch. Okay, they've gotten older. All right, they've I don't want to say a step slower, maybe a half a step slower. Okay, I'm talking Steph. Clay's having some issues. Jordan Poole is playing unbelievably confident right now. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting rest of the series. The best of 5 now, with Boston having the home court, 3 games in Boston. Okay, only 2 games remaining in Golden State. Now, Wednesday's game is going to be the most important game for Boston. It's going to be the most important game for Boston. Because if they win, they maintain home court. And then game 4 becomes the most important game for Boston. And if Golden State wins, you're damn skippy. Game 4 becomes the most important game for the Boston Celtics. The way the storylines in this series, the way things can play out in this series, unbelievable. Boston with an 8-2, actually 8-3 now, road record in the playoffs, which is amazing. Do you want them to be on the road more? I don't know. They're going to be going home, so it's going to be an interesting game. It's interesting rest of the series. Hopefully it goes 5 more. Hopefully it goes to game 7, because the excitement that there have been for the first 2 games, I'll take it for 5 more. And believe you me, the networks, they want 5 more games just like the first 2. Guarantee it. So Darnell Mayberry at 11 o'clock, and we got a lot of questions to ask him about this series because, man, this could go down as one for the ages. Let me tell you. Well, listen, guys, you know how we do. The first segment of every show is called Top of the Morning.
Just when you want it. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you.
The first top of the morning topic, as we wait for our guy Joseph, he's going to chime in in a moment. But let's get it started. The first top of the morning topic: the White Sox beat the Tampa Bay Rays 6-5 yesterday down in Tampa. It was a rubber match of the series, and the White Sox won the series. Thank goodness. Whew, Charlie, Lucas Giolito, he got the win. He's 4-2 on the season. He went 6 innings, 8 hits, 5 runs, 2 of them earned. Okay, only 2 were earned, 2 walks, 3 punch outs. All right. Hendricks, he came in with his 16th save. And let me tell you, he looked good yesterday. He only threw 9 pitches? 9 pitches, I want to say, in the 9th inning. Very unlike Liam Hendricks. Very unlike him. He likes to give us a little bit of heartache. All right, let's just say it that. Lewis Robert, he was 3 for 5, hitting his 5th double, driving in his 20th run of the season. Andrew Vaughn, he was 3 for 5 also with 2 doubles, 7th and 8th doubles of the season. You see one there. Okay, driving in his 23rd RBI of the season. And Burger, He had 2 doubles as well, his 4th and 5th doubles of the season, driving in his 16th and 17th runs of the season. And Yasmani Grandal, he was 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs, his 10th and 11th of the season. You see here's a burger bomb as a ground rule double, bringing in 2 runs. And let's just say this guy is just, he's feeling it now. He's feeling it now. Here you see Yasmani Grandal with just a check swing, opposite field, like a duck snort, brings in 2 runs. And it's funny. One of the things that I was writing for my conversation with Chris, one of the questions was how brutal has been. Let's see, what's one of the questions for Chris? How big a liability has Yasmani Grandal been as he's batting 163 on the season? Batting 163, can't throw a guy out at second base. What do you need him for? It's like war. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Yeah, so he comes in through in the clutch yesterday. Yeah, Yasmani Grandal did.
I find it funny that you said it like Jackie Chan in Rush Hour.
Did you make sure Joseph got the link? Make sure Joseph has the link.
Yeah, I resent it. I resent it.
Okay. Yeah. So White Sox are looking good. Happy with the series win down in Tampa. And what I tell you, we don't need a 17, 20, 25 game win streak. We don't need it. All right. We just got to win series. Okay. We got to win series. This is what I need. This is what I want. And this is what makes teams play better. This is when you start winning series, there's nothing teams can say. There's no, oh, well, you got lucky. Oh, well, okay. You handle your business. You go in there. You win. You take 2 out of 3, especially on the road. Take 2 out of 3, and you move on. You keep it moving. And that's the good part about this. You know, you have to understand Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay was, 574. So it's 31 and 23. So this is a good baseball team we played. This is a good baseball team that we took 2 out of 3 from. Okay, this is a good baseball team. So let's not get it twisted. They actually have a better record than the White Sox. The White Sox are 25 and 27. Obviously, much worse than their talent dictates. Okay, but the way they've been performing, they are where they deserve to be. They are where they deserve to be. But you know what? I like this. I'm pretty happy. And listen, it doesn't get any easier. Dodgers come to town tomorrow. Okay, the Dodgers come to town Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then the Texas Rangers. Right? The Texas Rangers, they're right around from the same ilk as the White Sox. They're 25 and 28. They come to town for the weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we have a chance to make up some ground, a chance to win 2 more series this week. But there's a lot of questions with my guys, and it's frustrating. We're gonna delve into those a little more with Joseph when he logs on, and also with Chris Bowden at the top of the hour. Well, the next top of the morning topic, the Cubs. They fall to the Cardinals 5-3 in 11 innings. Justin Steele, he started the game. You know what? Let's bring him in. Let's bring in my man himself. He's a man you find on Twitter at ACA Joe. Let's bring him in. Joseph Phillips. Joseph, what's up, Papa? How are you?
What's up, Papa? God bless. How you doing?
Good. Just talking White Sox. The White Sox beat the Rays 6-5 yesterday. Giolito with the win, his 4th of the year. Liam Hendricks gets the 16th save. Lou Bob drives in a run, his 20th. Vaughn drives in his 23rd run. Burger, he drives in 2 RBIs. And Grandal, he drives in 2 RBIs yesterday as the White Sox beat the Tampa Bay Rays and win the rubber match yesterday to take the series again 6-5 down in St. Petersburg.
Well, the Rays, they've been a competitive team for a while, in spite of the the lack of resources and just lack of I wouldn't say lack of talent, but just lack of financial resources. They always find a way to get it done, just like the Oakland A's. But the White Sox, on the other hand, is loaded with talent, and I guess yesterday they decided to live up to their potential and play uh, according to the level of the competition.
Yeah, it was. It was good. It was. Like I said, I was happy because um, they beat a team. They beat a team over 500. They took the series from a team over 500. Um, it made me happy because this was one of the biggest problems that the White Sox had last year. We beat up on the bottom feeders, and we couldn't beat these teams that were over 500. Well, this Tampa Bay team, they're 31-23, a much better record than us. And to take 2 out of 3 from them in their home park was, to me, was very satisfying, and hopefully a signal of things to change, and things to turn for the better.
Yeah, like I said, anytime you could beat a team like the Rays, even though it's almost like an oxymoron, like it was a time when you mentioned the Tampa Bay Rays and you were like, oh, they're at the bottom of the barrel, but they're always a competitive team. Just like the Oakland A's, they're the same way. They always find a way to compete in spite of their budget. So a win against a team that's very competitive like that, especially when they're throwing out every single resource to compete against the top teams, that's a huge win. But at the same time, uh, White Sox got a lot of work to do.
They do. They do. I said coming up this week, starting tomorrow, they got 3 with the Dodgers. They welcome the Dodgers to the South Side, so it's going to be Cholo heaven over there. All my Mexican friends who are from California are going to be wearing their Dodger blue. I can tell you that for a fact. They got the Dodgers Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's going to be a good series. All right, it's another litmus test for from the White Sox. The Dodgers are in first place in the NL West, 35-19. All right, they are again a World Series contender. Excuse me, and the White Sox it's another good litmus test for this team. All right, another good team. We got a team over 500 in the Rays. We handled them. Now we got another team over 500, actually a first place team in the LA Dodgers, and we're going to see how this plays out. I'm looking forward to this series. Moving on to the next top of the morning topic, the Cubs. The Cubs fall to the Cardinals 5-3 in 11 innings. As I was saying, Justin Steele with a no decision. He went 7 innings, 2 runs, 1 earned. He had 3 walks and a strikeout. Patrick Wisdom was 2 for 4 with 2 doubles, his 11th and 12th. Jay Hay was 1 for 5, driving in his 7th run of the season. Ian Happ was 1 for 5, a double, his 12th of the season. And Higgins was 1 for 2 with a double, his first of the season, and driving in his 7th run of the year. The Cubs, unfortunately, were not able to get the W, as I said, but they are playing some exciting baseball right now.
Yeah, and the man I have to give credit to, I don't know if you mentioned his name, but Christopher Morel. He's the epitome of what we want out of each individual player, nothing less. He's bringing enthusiasm. He's working at bats, and he's spraying the balls to every part of the field, and he's clutch. Actually, Saturday's game, I believe it was a difference maker because doing that double header, he was able to still fight off some at bats against a guy that was throwing 98, 99 miles per hour for the Cardinals, and he was able to still come through with a clutch hit. And then yesterday, like I said, this team had to make up its mind. I know we're gonna compete, but how are we gonna compete? Are we gonna compete and get moral victories, or are we gonna compete and get wins? And yesterday, I wouldn't say this is a moral victory. I'll just say that if we can compete, let's just try to win because we don't like losses.
Well, you keep competing. That's the thing is you guys are playing fundamentally solid, and you're going to be in a lot of games. All right, you're going to win a lot of games. All right, you just can't blow it in the late innings as you did yesterday, and that's the issue with not just the Cubs, but that's a lot of teams. A lot of teams don't have a bullpen or they don't have a closer. It's tough. and you don't as here what the Cubs are doing is you're trying to find out who your closer is. I mean, do you want to go and spend money on a closer when you're in a rebuilding mode? No, you don't. All right, because it's a waste of his talents. Because a couple of things. One, if you're not winning, guess what? He's not coming in. You don't throw a closer in just to get him some work. You don't do that. All right. Closers come in pressure situations, and that's where they thrive. So you don't need to go out and buy a closer. So you're trying to find a closer. And you know what? Maybe you don't even find a closer until you're very good. You find someone who's maybe serviceable, but once you're ready to compete, then you go get your closer, because closers, they are a specialty, a specialist, and you don't need those until you are ready to compete.
Well, this is what I need to say about our lineup because I know we had plenty of opportunities to win, so it won't be in the hands of the closer. I know Simmons. I like him at shortstop far as defensively, but I think Nico Horner needs to be in the lineup every day. Okay, he's the only 300 hit on the team. There's no reason why he should be coming in and out of that lineup like that. He's one of our most consistent players.
Why do you think he's doing that, Joseph? Why do you think he's in
because
and
I
out?
think David Ross, because his batting average sucks so bad when he was a player, but he was such a great defensive catcher. He's going to choose defense over offense. And I understand what he's trying to do, but at the same time, you don't want to hurt Nico Horner's development and make him just some type of fringe player where he's only playing on certain days, or you're only going to play against right-handers. Like he needs to be playing every day. You need to find a way to get him in the lineup every day. Christopher Morel, I hope they don't send him back down, but he needs to be in the lineup every day. Forget about Jason Hayward's defense. I don't want to hear this. This is the same stuff. We've been losing games because we come up with guys on first, second, and third with bases loaded, and then here comes Anderson Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
He comes up the bat, and I mean, a soft ground out to shortstop for a double play. That can't happen with one out. Nico Horner need to be up in that situation. So we had plenty of opportunities to bust it open on the Cardinals, but David Ross just kind of like gave them the game because he's trying to stick with his guys and stick with his decision. But this is the type of things where it shows Cubs fans, okay, are you about winning or are you about pushing the organization's agenda, which is letting these fill-in guys play until the young guys are ready. But if you're really about winning, if you got a bases loaded situation like that, Nico Horner should have been in the game. There's nowhere in the world Nico Horner should have been on the bench. Chill.
You think it's a possibility that Ross is doing that to kind of help and put him in situations? I'm talking about Simmons, where he's got to perform, basically see what you could do, sink or swim. And then as the season goes on, use the early part of the season as a litmus test. Like, okay, you didn't do very well. Well, guess what? Now it's Nico Horner's turn for basically for the rest of the year. Or do you think they're trying to get Simmons, get his trade value up, get him to be a viable, because he could be a trade piece?
Well, this is, first of all, David Ross has to stop experimenting. Like, you go with the guys that are productive, win or lose. Simmons is not a great offensive player. Now, if I was him, if you want him in the lineup so bad, just DH Nico Horner. Okay? Like DH him if you want to. I'm talking about if you want Simmons in the lineup that bad, just keep him out there defensively and then DH Nico Horner. You have the DH rule. I don't know what the problem is, but when you got 9 batters in that lineup and you're still not producing runs, then that falls on the manager. Like, it's nowhere in the world that you got guys who can work the count, give you singles, doubles, triples, and an occasional home run. You got him sitting on the bench. Like, are you crazy? Like, he's the best thing that we got for us hitting for average and also just hitting for singles and doubles. Now, I know some people will say, well, you need to bench Nick Madrigal. He's doing the same thing. But I know Nicky Two Strikes is coming off an injury. So he got a window of opportunity to do what he needs to do before we send him down to the minors. Now, right now, he's just trying to tread water because he's getting his timing back. We saw what he can do. But with Simmons, he like I said, there's already been a scouting report on him. He can't hit. Okay. He can't hit. It's almost like Billy Hamilton. Like he's gonna steal bases and all that, but what's the purpose of having him stealing bases if he can't get on base?
Yeah.
Just use him as a pinch runner, or you can't even use Simmons as a pinch hitter. Just use him as a defensive replacement. The only reason why we had Simmons out there is because we didn't land our big time shortstop that we wanted. Okay.
Because Joseph has a point. Like, it's the same thing that was said about Tim Anderson. Why is Tim out for a second half of a doubleheader? You know what I'm saying? Why isn't he playing? He's your best player, and he's hitting the ball harder than anybody right now on the team, other than Patrick Wisdom. I think. I don't know. I don't know what the I don't understand the logic by young players, and I know the Cubs aren't making a push for the playoffs. So what are you saving them for? Get the younger player more experience. I don't know why he was out on Saturday.
Right. It's just not making any sense. And then we're losing games to our division rivals. They're talking trash. Like the kid, I did feel sorry for the kid from the Cardinals who made that base running mistake, but you have to make him pay for that. And that was on Saturday night. Like the kid overran third base. I mean, the kid was destroyed emotionally. He was just like, I screwed up. I saw it in my face. But
You know what? I don't feel sorry for people, Joseph. You're
no, no,
playing
no, no,
sports.
no.
You make mistakes.
I'm not saying. I'm not saying. Listen, I'm talking about if they would have lost. I would have felt sorry for them. I'm just letting you know that. But the Cubs, being the Cubs, we out Cubbed ourselves. Okay, we did the same stupid stuff that we were always doing. We find a way to blow the game. We find a way to lose in spite of the game being given to us. Like the guy was emotionally destroyed. He thought he was on his way to AAA after the game because of the mistake he made. But you could tell on the Cardinals' face, like, why are we struggling against this low budget, cheap team who don't have really any star power in the lineup? We got all this star power. The Cardinals had one of the best, I think, left-handed hitting or right-hand hitting lineups in the game. So, like they're looking thinking to themselves, like, how are they still in the game with us? How are they even competing with us?
Yeah,
And
but you know what? The records go. A lot of times, the records go out the window when it's your division rival. Even what it doesn't matter if they're equally yoked or if one team is more favored than the others. A lot of times it happens, and that's that seems like what it is. And don't forget, the Cubs have been playing. They're playing fundamental baseball. They're not a good baseball team, but they're becoming a very fundamentally sound one. You know as well as I do, as any baseball purist or anyone who knows sports, when you stick to the fundamentals, okay, and you play fundamentally sound, guess what? You're going to win a lot. You're going to be in a lot more games than you should be, and you're going to win a lot more games than you should. And that's the issue with the Cubs. They're giving the Cardinals fits. Okay, when you give a team like the Cubs extra outs, when you don't take them serious because the names are gone, the Baez, the Rizzos, the Bryants, those names are gone. You pitches over, roll curveballs and hanging sliders and all this stuff because you don't respect them. Well, guess what? They're gonna stick around. They're gonna beat you once in a while, and they're really gonna be a pain in your ass. And this is what a lot of teams have to realize: is just because the Cubs aren't a extremely talented team doesn't mean that they aren't talented, and doesn't mean that they won't beat you, because they can and they have.
Yeah, but like I said, don't give away games. Don't give away wins. And I've seen David Ross do that on a few occasions. And this team, and this to show you that the statistic about him giving away games, we've lost close to 14 to 15 one-run games because of lineup issues. 14 to 15 one-run games. What is our record right now? we're like close to 8 or 9 games of the 500 because those 13 or 15 games that we could have won, we could have been like 2 or 3 games over 500 or 3 or 4 games over 500. Bottom line is that that's too many losses. Especially, are you just putting the team out there to compete, or are you putting the team out there to win? And I don't think David Ross was the best lineup out there. I think he is one of those like political guys where he'll put his buddy in the lineup based on what they've done in the past. We don't need a manager like that, and he's on the clock too. I'm just being honest. Like
Joseph, but you're misguided. You got to remember, he doesn't put the lineup out,
Right.
dude. He doesn't put the lineup out. All right, the way baseball is in today's game, okay, the general manager and the front office puts the lineup out. They have a strong if they don't make the lineup, trust me, they have a strong influence on who plays. And this is one of the reasons why when we talk about the South Side, this is one of the reasons why Ozzy most likely won't get that job, because there's no way on God's green earth he's going to let somebody in the front office dictate his lineup. And David Ross is a guy. I agree with you here. He is a company guy, so he's going to go along with it. And I don't think the lineup is his at all, Joseph. I think he might have input on it, but it's not his.
Right, and also we don't want a puppet either, Sean.
But that's what most managers are now, Joseph.
But this is the thing, like, then he's not the guy. Jed Hoyer, if he's gonna control everything, well, I know Jed Hoyer is president of baseball operations, but the guy from Cleveland, I don't know if the guy from Cleveland wants that lineup out there either. I think it's an issue. I think David Ross has a say so on that lineup. I think he has a say so, but I don't think that he's fighting hard enough for Nico Horner. For some reason, they don't like Nico Horner. I don't know why. They treat him like a stepchild, but he's a 300 hitter. Why isn't he in the lineup? Everybody's batting 150. How is Jason Hayward coming off the 15-day, 20-day disabled list and then gets in the game and you put him in a special part of the lineup? Then you got him and Simmons going back to back. Are you kidding me? Both of them are 150 hitters. Why aren't they like hitting in between our high average hitters? It's not making any sense. And I think, like I said, this is a company line that they're using. Oh, we signed him in the off season. No, we know why you signed him in the off season, because you did not get the big ticket free agent. Yes, we got Seiya Suzuki, but Seiya Suzuki was the second place prize when it came to signing our free agent. So I don't want to hear any type of games with these guys, or this is what's going to happen. If Jed Hoyer and David Ross continue to do what they do, they're going to be on their way out of here, because the fans are getting tired of this type of stuff. Like, don't lose games just to lose games. If you have a chance to win them. The Cleveland Guardians, they do it all the time. The Minnesota Twins, they do it all the time. They experience turnover all the time. And I think that's why they got the guy from Cleveland, because there should be no excuse why you're losing games the way you're losing them. It just doesn't make any sense. One-run games, 14, 15 one-run games, there's no excuse for that. That's been happening for the past 2 to 3 years.
I'm telling you, it's political more so than anything. Sports, unfortunately, is political, and you're dealing with a situation, and Joseph, you know it, man. Remember, the managers were the managers were, I don't want to say the golden child, but there was a lot more respect placed on managers. And then once the little blog boys, the little nerdy boys came in, and with the sabermetric bullshit, and all of a sudden now you got guys, now they're quantifying, well, how many wins does a manager really account for? And it's all about money. So they're saying, okay, well, if a manager only accounts for 2 to 3 wins a season, which is what they're saying according to their stats, well, then they don't need really anybody. So if we can have anyone as a manager, okay, we'll get the lowest paid guys, which is what a lot of guys do. A lot of managers aren't making a lot of money. And you know what? The front offices are making the lineups with the manager giving input, not deciding just giving input. And that's the way, unfortunately, I mean, look, I truly believe, part of me, that's the way it is with the Cubs. They're like, look, all right, you're a first year manager. You have no managerial experience whatsoever. All right. If you want to be a manager here, okay, you're gonna have to do it our way. David Ross, hey, he wanted to get into coaching, okay, after his playing years were over. What a great way to transition right into coaching. Okay, but now you kind of got to play ball with the front office. So again, here's the issue. Do you want to play ball and get your managerial job, or do you want to try and go find another gig? But you're gonna, as you find out in the landscape of Major League Baseball today, you're gonna find it's the same shit all across the board. You're gonna have to acquiesce and say, okay, you guys make the lineup with my assistants, not me make the lineup with your assistants. That's the way it is across baseball.
It's just like dealing with a person on a video game. Okay, you know it, Shawn. You got people that's great at Madden. Okay, they got them joystick skills. But if you put them in a real life situation on the field, it's a done deal. And it's the same thing going to basketball court. A lot of guys say, "Oh, I'm the greatest in 2K." Well, check the ball and let's see how good you are on a real court. It's the same thing with general managers. They want to play this video game foolishness. Oh, let me control everything. Let me make it do this, make it do that. But at the end of the day, you can't take away the natural ability of a scout. You can't take away the natural ability of a manager. You can't take the natural ability away of an eye test.
But that's what they're doing. That's what they've done.
These guys are sickos. Are they crazy?
Yes. They are, you know what? They're the nerd boys, and they've done exactly what you said you didn't want them or that they couldn't do. They took all that away. They're gonna say, "Well, okay, I see I hear what you're saying. You're telling me what you see, but according to the numbers, blah 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 blah," and they make their case. And you know what? Now that's it. You know what? And that's why you give me when you get a manager. That's why you give me an Ozzy. That's why you give me a Joe Girardi. That's why you give me these guys who played baseball are baseball lifers, okay? Because they have a trained eye that these nerd boys who went to Ivy League schools don't have. All right, you can sit there and read me what the numbers say. You can read me what the numbers say all you want, but coming up it's a feel. Coaching, managing is a feel,
right?
And the hell with the stats, the hell with this. It's a feel, and when you have a feeling as a manager, you go with it. It doesn't matter what the stats say. It doesn't matter how well his guy's hitting against this guy. It doesn't matter if it's a lefty righty. It doesn't matter that it's a feel. All right,
Don't
and
forget
there's
about
things that you see. Scouts too. No, I agree. Scouts too.
They starting to lose their jobs. They starting to lose their jobs based on analytics.
Just because the number. Well, this guy hit such and such in AAA, and so bring him up. No, it's crazy, dude. It's really, really crazy. You're right, Junior. It does. They don't show heart of character because you can have guys hitting 200, okay, but if you say that you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to put him in. But then if you look at the numbers and say, wait a minute, well, with runners in scoring position, he's hitting 312. Okay, when there's nobody on base, he strikes out. He plops out. He makes an out. But if there's runners in scoring position, all of a sudden his batting average goes up. There's an eye test like you talked about. There's a feel that you talked about, and it's frustrating that baseball and many sports have gone to this, but unfortunately, man, it is what it is.
Well, we just gonna keep taking them L's.
Yep.
It's a bum, as they say.
Let's move on. The next top of the morning topic. The last top of the morning topic, the NBA Finals yesterday. The Golden State Warriors beat the Boston Celtics 107-88 to tie the series up at 1 as they head back to Boston for Game 3 on Wednesday. Steph Curry, he's putting on Steph Curry numbers, 29 points. Jordan Poole, 17 points. Kevon Looney, 12 points, 7 boards. Wiggins, 11 points. Klay Thompson, he also had 11 points, but he was 1 for 8 from beyond the arc. In Boston, they had 3 guys in double figures. Jason Tatum, 28 points, 6 boards. Jaylen Brown, 17 points, 6 rebounds. And White, I can't remember his first name. White ended up with 12 points. Big win for the Golden State Warriors. That was a must win for the Golden State Warriors, as they could not go back to Boston down 2-0. But Boston got what they wanted. They got a split as they head back home. Now it's the best of 5 with 3 games in the series remaining to be in Boston, while only 2 in San Francisco.
Well, this is definitely going to be a series of adjustments for both teams. And as you saw yesterday, that Golden State made their adjustments. They was like, hey, we can't lose that way. We blew that game. So therefore, we're going to make our necessary adjustments and come out playing with that fire. Now, Boston, on the other hand, they can't get caught up in the whole star power thing. They cannot get caught up in the star power thing. And the reason why I say that is they're going to need a balanced attack from up and down that lineup. What you just read to me from Golden State's stats, they had a balanced attack. It wasn't just a Steph Curry performance. You had Jordan Poole giving
17. Kevon Looney,
12,
12. Wiggins, 11.
Wiggins,
Thompson, 11. Yeah.
All double figure scoring. So you have at least 4 or 5 guys in double figures.
Yep.
Boston, on the other hand, you got
3.
Jason Tatum. I knew that was going to happen because he had such a bad game. So he felt he had to prove himself in game 2, which can sometimes take away from the team. Okay. What was working for them in game 1 is that Golden State couldn't just lock in on one guy. So if you keep that approach where you balance the attack, like you have everybody scoring, not just Jason Tatum, because if you try to make it a Jason Tatum show, it's going to be his 1 or 2 points versus Golden State barrage of 3-pointers. But that's what they live off, 3-pointers. Steph Curry, 1 pump dribble, fake, sidestep, 3-pointer. Steph Curry off the screen, off a curl, 3-pointer. That's what they love to do. But Boston have to focus defensively, locking down this Golden State perimeter. And then offensively, they need to focus on balanced scoring, getting contributions from not just Jason Tatum, but Al Horford and Marcus Smart. Sometimes I call him Marcus Stun because he does crazy stuff. And then also several other individuals on that team that can contribute on the perimeter.
Yeah, we talked about this, and you mentioned one name that we didn't hear a lot yesterday after a huge game 1, and it was very shocking, and that was Tito Horford. All right, Tito Horford, we're kind of looking for him yesterday to say, okay, well, where are you at, especially after game 1? And Tito Horford, what did he have yesterday? 2 points. This is the Boston Celtics starting lineup. All right, Jason Tatum, 28. Jaylen Brown, 17. Okay. Al Horford, 2. Williams, the center, 2. Marcus Smart, 2. All right. What you cannot win when your starting lineup gives you 6 points from 3 players in your starting lineup, that's not going to get it done. Not against this Golden State team. Let me ask you this question, because I'm going to ask Darnell Mayberry. He's our guest. Chris Bowden, but I'm going to ask Darnell Mayberry this at 11 o'clock. Do you think Boston just said, bump it? We got the first one. Let's go back home, tied 1-1?
Well, I don't think they necessarily did that because the game was competitive. In the first
they were up 2.5.
Right. That's what I said. But that it goes back to this again. If I don't know if this falls on the players. Okay, can't blame the coach for this because at the end of the day, players have to play. Okay, coach give you the assignments to do, but the players have to play. And Boston played 2 quarters of basketball yesterday, and then they mailed it in the 3rd and the 4th quarter for some reason. I don't know if it was fear.
But that was my question. Do you think they just said, all right, bump it? You know what? We got one. We got home court. The hell with it.
Well, like I said, I just think it's a lack of killing instinct. Like, remember how we was, Shawn, in the 90s? And I always keep going back to the 90s, that when you smell a fear or a weakness in the team, that you have a chance to put your foot on the team's neck, and you keep giving them opportunities to get back in the game, then that shows a lack of killer instinct. And I think with Boston, like when they had the lead, they didn't play as if they had the lead. They played as if they were down. You see what I mean? They were trying to match them basket for basket instead of focusing on stops and then getting back on the offensive end in 3-on-1 situations. If you can get stops defensively on Golden State, you've accomplished a lot, because most of the time they're scoring efficiently offensively on every possession. So if you get in stops, you have to capitalize on the stops. You have to make them pay on the other end, whether that's through low percentage shots or high percentage shots. And I think in this situation, I think Boston was settling for going backwards and forth with long 3-pointers with them. You can't do that. You have to destroy them through the mid-range. Jaylen Brown, he was a big factor in last game, even though Tito Horford, was, I guess he got like the player of the game. But I think Jaylen Brown was the difference maker because he got them back in the game making some tough shots. And they need that out of Jaylen Brown every game this series. He can't take nights off. 17 is okay in the regular season, but you need like 25 to 28 points to at least keep your team in the game, or you're going to find yourself playing from behind or getting blown out. And that's what Steph Curry likes. He likes to get a big lead so he can start jacking up all type of threes from everywhere. But Boston has to send a physical message. Like I said, this is an organization that has won 17 championships. If I was them, I'll be physical with Steph Curry. I'd throw an elbow in his chest, just letting him know, like, boom, bro. You're not going to keep jumping around, think you're going to have the fans going crazy shooting 3-pointers. You have to send a message to him physically to let him know every time you come off that screen, I'm going to lay a nasty pick on you. That's how you have to send a message to Steph Curry. That's the only way you can slow him down, because offensively, he plays like, I wouldn't say a coward, but mostly offensively, it's like any space you give him, he's gonna make a shot. So you have to be on him like white on rice. You have to be on like white on rice from the start of the game to the end of the game. That's your duty. This is the NBA Finals. You can't take any plays off. And I think Boston played, like I said, 2 quarters of basketball. And then the biggest mistake, they tried to play the style of basketball that Golden State plays. And that's not their style. They're more of a half-court offense. They can do a little up-tempo stuff, but they're more a half-court offense type team.
What do you mean? How do you say Steph plays kind of like offense like a coward?
He does. It's like like he comes past half court, he's shooting the ball immediately. Most guys don't do that, so it's almost
But
like
he makes a good portion of them. That's not
oh, yeah,
cowardly.
he does. But it's kind of like in real basketball, it's kind of like coward basketball. Okay. We know that you're not gonna bang. We know you're not gonna do that. You're gonna shoot the ball. It's kind of like a one-trick pony. You're gonna shoot the ball.
A one-trick pony?
Yeah, because everybody can't do that. Like I said, Steph Curry is an anomaly. Okay, he gets away with that because that's his type of style.
He can do it.
But it's a way you can deal with him. You have to meet Steph Curry full court, set some speeds on him, punch him in his chest, hit him in his chest every now and then, make him feel the pain. They don't be physically. If he was playing against the 90 Bulls, boy, they will be in his head so much. They will be tripping him up, clotheslining him, punching him in his chest, letting him know that, boy, next time you get that ball, you better think about shooting twice. Matter of fact, when you come to half court, we hitting you with an elbow on your neck. We're not playing no games with you. That's how you have to play with him. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I did this last week with some Caucasian brothers. They thought they was gonna come out shooting threes on us. I was like, oh, they hot. They making all these jumpers. So I talked to the guy. I said, no, we got to get physical with them. We got to get physical with them. An old boy. My man walked out with stitches in the back of his head. But bottom line is that we weren't letting you shoot the ball. Okay? No shooting. You're not shooting the ball. We're going to make you a penetrator. You are going to the hole. You hear me? And we're going to find a way to get you out that perimeter. You come off a screen, my man going to be there to meet you with a forearm to your chest. Boom. Okay? That's how Golden State works.
Yeah, I agree on the physical part, but the thing is they're doing is they're They're
But you
setting
gonna
screens.
start doing all this
No,
stuff.
listen, but they're setting screens and they're creating a mismatch. They put him on Tease or whoever. They screen with a big man. So when you screen with a big man, if you want to come up and you want to blitz the pick and roll with a big man, well, guess what? Steph's going to give you an eyebrow fake. He's going to go right around you. So there's a lot. You don't think that Golden State has thought about guys? They're not going to screen with other guards. They're not going to screen with guys who are athletic. Because then they could jump up and they can take Steph. They can't do that. Golden State understands. They know who they want to set the screen because those guys are not athletic enough to stay with Steph. And they're going to continue to do that. So if you want to come up and blitz the screen, well, guess what? Steph's going by you. And that's the last thing you want is Steph going by you because now he's got a clear path to the basket. And if someone collapses, now he kicks it out. And now there's another guy who can hit a three. So
now with a box of one, Sean. Now with a box of one. And if he comes to the hole, that's when you send Joe bruisers, okay?
He's not going to go to the hole in a box and one. He's not going to go to the hole. He's going to stay out. He's going to, but it's easier to pick. It's easier to set a screen, get him open in the corner on a box and one. Well, listen, we got to go. We got to, I guess, at 10 o'clock, boss. Yeah, we will, buddy. Thanks a lot. We appreciate it. We will see you on Wednesday.
All right, peace out.
All right, guys, we got to take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, we're going to have our guy Chris Bowden going to come and we're going to talk a little White Sox. We're going to talk a little Bears. Excited to have him on, and it's going to be some good conversation because my White Sox, I got a lot of questions about my good guys on the South Side. So, guys, Chris Bowden coming up next right here. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
It's a romance sport. What? It's a romance sport. Yeah. It's a romance sport. Yeah, it's a romance sport like that. This one going out.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago on this House Music Monday edition. Look, I got my House Heads t-shirt on. I am fired up. Man, it is a wonderful day. A little rainy, a little cool, but nonetheless a wonderful day here in the Chi. Well, listen, my next guest, glad to have him on. He's back. He's been with WGN now. Excited. I'm happy for him, and big when he gets on, I'll definitely congratulate him. But he's for WGN. Where's GN Sports? You can find him on Twitter at Bowden Tweets. Guys, let's welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Chris Bowden. Chris, what's up, buddy? How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you guys? Sorry, I don't have the cam on. I'm like getting some car repairs done, and I'm trying to find a place to at least get away and talk to you. So I got to go incognito video while I step away and try and find a place to talk and not get doused by rain either. But great to be with you guys. How are you guys doing?
Hey, Chris, you know what? I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. That's awesome. That's I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I love the rain. I love, you know what? This makes you feel alive. It's a great day for napping. So later, make sure you do it, because after the show, I'm definitely taking a nap. So you're back with you're with WGN now. Awesome. First and foremost, congratulations. But let's talk about my White Sox. My White Sox are a team that confusing to a lot of people, a lot of Sox fans. They had a big win yesterday over the Tampa Bay Rays. It was the rubber match of the series, and so they took the series. How telling! We're going to try and get Chris back. He was in a rough area. Remember, he's out and about. He's going to log back in a moment. But my first question to Chris is going to be, how telling is this? How telling? Chris, we got you again? Chris, are you there? No, we're still having some issues. Chris, we'll try to get him back on there. But how telling is this win? This series win for the White Sox over Tampa in Tampa. It's one thing if it's here in Chicago, okay, but you're on the road against a team over 500 and you take the series. Does that mean? Hey, Chris, we got you back.
I think I got you a little bit better. Let's give this a try.
All righty. Sounds good. So my first question is, how telling is this series win for the White Sox over the Tampa Bay Rays, a team that's over 500? That was a big deal with the White Sox last year, their inability to beat teams over 500. And here they take 2 out of 3 from Tampa on the road.
Well, yeah, I mean, we've been saying this for a long time, though. It's been kind of a repeating narrative throughout the entire season, where they get a couple of wins and you're thinking, okay, this is the point that they're turning this season around. I mean, we just saw it a couple of weeks ago when they swept that double.
Oh, Chris. Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we're having some audio difficulty with Chris where he's at. Yeah, Chris, are you with? Can you hear us? All right. Well, we'll try and get Chris back. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how telling it is. I guess we'll have to see the series against the Dodgers, all right, which starts tomorrow, and they're at home, or the Sox are at home, I should say. So you have them on friendly turf. Can they take 2 out of 3, or can they sweep the series? Okay, this is another team that's over 500, team in first place in the NL West, World Series contender. Can they do this? We're going to find out, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing because, in my opinion, you can't just. There we go, Chris. We got you yet? Yeah, it's. I don't know if we're going to be able to get Chris on. Yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to get Chris on. Sorry about that.
It sounded
Darn rain.
It sounded like
darn rain.
Yeah, it sounded like he was in a rough spot. I don't know. We'll try it again.
Let's see. Chris, you hear that? Can you hear us now? Yeah. It's all right. We'll text him. So my thing is this, it's a good start, but now we got to build on it. Okay, because you cannot continue to play as poorly as you have. And then this season, this schedule doesn't get any easier. All right, as what I said, talk about, the Dodgers are coming in. All right, the Dodgers are coming into town, and then after the Dodgers, you got Texas. Texas, they're right around the same as we are, and we used to beat the hell out of teams like that last year. Guess what? We're not doing that this year. We are not beating teams, one, in our division like we did last year, two, teams that are about this equally yoked or worse than us. We're not doing it. So that's going to be a big problem. So is it a turning? Is it telling? Is it a turning point? I don't know. I think we're going to have to wait and find out. And it's frustrating because we want it to be the turning point, Sox fans. We do. We definitely do. Like, wow, team over 500. We took 2 in their stadium. All right, now it's on. Well, we don't know if it's on yet. We don't know. Okay, is Giolito getting into a groove? I don't know either. He just got shelled his last start. 2 starts before, he had a good start. So is it one on, one off with Lucas Giolito? I don't know. I don't know. And that's the thing, and this is why Maya is always talking about she doesn't think he's the ace. I don't either. But they kind of anointed him the ace last year. He got the opening day start and all that. Because mentally, he's not, in my opinion, strong enough. Don't get me wrong. I love what he did. This is 2 games ago where he didn't have his best stuff and he had to literally fight through to get the win. Great. That was 2 starts ago. Last start, or I should say, yesterday was 1. 2 starts ago, he lost. 3 starts ago is when he was able to grind it out. And I love seeing that. But then I don't love seeing what comes next. His inconsistency. And remember I talked about, I don't care if the White Sox go on a 7, 10, 20 game winning streak. I don't care. I don't want that. This win series. Well, pitchers are a little different. I need consistent quality starts from these guys. It's asking a lot. You get paid a lot. You're not asking anything. I'm not asking you anything that's beyond your pay grade. Lucas Giolito, you are the opening day starter. Hey, Chris, do we got you again? Oh, that's Chris. No, it doesn't look like we're going to get him. Like Lucas Giolito, you're the opening day starter. We need more consistency from you. We need more consistency from him. Okay, and you can tell. Okay, remember we talked about coaches and managers having a feel? All right, there's an eye test. As a former coach, there's an eye test. Watch his body language. Chris, were we able to get you back now? No, we don't. We have still having troubles with the audio. Watch Lucas Giolito when he's pitching well. You see the confidence. You feel the confidence from him. He walks around like he's a calm, cool, collected. Don't get me wrong, but he walks around like he's an animal on the prowl. All right, he strikes the guy out. He takes his little lap around the mound, but you see it. He's got an energy about him, a swag about him. Watch when he's not pitching good. He's jittery. All right, the look on his face. All right, he seems sometimes to rush pitches to the plate. Okay. Watch his body language. And that has to change. His body language needs to be consistent, whether he's up 5 with 7 strikeouts, or he's down 2 with 4 walks and 2 homers. His body language needs to be the same. And he is just not there yet. You know, they brought in his pitching coach from Driveline, Ethan Katz. He's the pitching coach for the Sox now. And that still hasn't gotten him to the consistent basis that we need. Like, I love when Giolito's on, man. I do. I'm telling you, I love my White Sox. But it doesn't mean I'm not going to be critical about him either. Lucas Giolito needs to work on his psyche. If you can work on your psyche. I'm telling you, I wonder if I would assume, but you know what happens when you make an assumption? You make an ass out of you and umption. All right. So I don't want to make an assumption. I would assume, though, that they'd have a sports psychologist on, on staff. Or maybe that's what Ethan Katz's role is. He's a shrink. He's a shrink for Giolito, and he can kind of be a shrink for everybody else. Possible. I don't know. But Lucas Giolito's he's got to turn the corner for us. He's got to. And then another question that I have for this good guy team is Moncada becoming dispensable due to Burger's production? I was talking with a guy in the gym today. His name's Shawn, actually, as well. Spelled just like mine also. And he said, if I hear one more dumb Sox fan say that Burger is better than Moncada, he goes, I'm gonna lose it. I said, yeah. I said, because they're idiots. They're like, Moncada is so talented. I said, he is unbelievably talented. But he's not playing well. He is a hell of a lot more talented than Burger, who's very talented. Don't get me wrong. Burger's talented. And if you don't think this kid got guts, dude, he was out for baseball for 2 years. He tore his Achilles once, came back and rehab, tore it again. If you don't think that you have the mental fortitude to come back from that and look at the number and the productions that he's doing now after 2 years of being away from baseball, if you've never recovered from an injury, if you've never had a serious injury, an ACL, MCL, an Achilles, a torn bicep, Tommy John, if you haven't had any of those types of things, you may not understand what it entails, the mental fortitude it takes to pull yourself through. The long nights when he couldn't even walk. Had he be on crutches. He's watching his Charlotte teammates or everyone else in the organization, even the guys in the big leagues, perform, and he's in rehab. He's crying because the pain is so great. If you don't think someone like that is mentally tough, you're nuts. Nutso. You are nutso. And I'm the first one to admit, I usually poo-poo on a lot of today's athletes, right? The mental fortitude that they have. I cannot argue that Jake Burger that he isn't tough. I can't say that. I can't. What I can say is he's not as talented as Yoan Moncada. And I can say, despite Yoan Moncada being more talented, Burger's playing much better. Burger's playing much, much better than Yoan Moncada. Offensively. He's a little bit of a defensive. He is a step down defensively from third, although he's still playing a good third base. Yoan Moncada, the ease with which he plays third base is astounding. The ease with which he does. His athleticism coming in on a slow chopper, barehanding it or gloving it, switching it quickly to the throw hand and tossing it over to Pito at first base. You're like, wow. Nice, smooth, and effortless. Burger's had a couple nice plays as well. But is Yo-Yo becoming dispensable now?
Dispensable, or are you able to use him in another way? Is he not solidified as having does he become expendable in a sense that hey man, you're gonna have to go play where we tell you to play. Like you don't have you're not the third baseman, you're not the second. No, you're gonna play where we tell you to play because we need to put this bat in the lineup.
That's a good question because you can't put him at DH. You can't put him at DH.
I mean, at this
defense
point,
sucks.
Yeah, right. Like at this point, like what's good about him? The music video,
his romper,
the romper. Like what's good about him at this point? We showed his stats. We showed his slash line. It's all bad. It's all bad. And now if the defense isn't, is following suit, there's a mental block.
Well, luckily the defense isn't. But what do? Like you just leave him in for defense, or do you put him in a late game replacement like you did Engel the last couple of seasons? Like what do you do? Because now his confidence is shot. He's got he's one of those guys. But here's where I talk about the mental fortitude. Like how dedicated is he to his craft? How dedicated? I don't know. I don't know.
We talked about it last time. You have sources that said that they've seen him plenty of times. I question the focus a little bit, just a little bit. He does seem like a guy that likes to be out and about, which is fine, being a younger guy. But when you are batting well below the Mendoza line and your on base percentage is right around there too, it doesn't look good for you.
No, it doesn't. We got our guy Chris Bowden back. Let's welcome back to newly hired at WGN. I'm very, very happy for him. Again, you find him on Twitter at Bowden Tweets. Guys, let's welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Chris Bowden. Chris, what's up, Papa? How are you?
Hey, sorry about that. I was getting my some car repairs done, not too far from my place. So that's why I didn't have the camera on before. But you don't get the TV version of me this morning here.
That's fine.
Kind of ragged looking. So sorry about the signal breakup there, but I was able to get home and dial you guys out. Hopefully this works a lot better.
Yeah, it sounds good. Sounds good. And don't worry, we're not in suits and ties in here. That's after 12. Okay. That's after 12 o'clock. We're talking about the White Sox. And you know what? The first question I had for you, how telling is this win over the Tampa Bay Rays, a team over 500, which was one of the Sox Achilles heel last year, was beating good teams. Now, not only did you beat them, it take 2 out of 3 of the series, but you did it in Tampa.
Yeah, and I'm hesitant to stick my toe in that water just yet because, this has happened a couple of other times earlier this season. You just have to go back 2 weeks when they swept that doubleheader in New York against the Yankees, and they come home, they lose 2 of 3 to Boston, then they have a split against the Cubs, and then they go out on the road against high-caliber opponents in Toronto and Tampa Bay. And, man, after we were done with Friday night, we were looking at, is this going to be an 0-6 road trip? And because at that point, the Sox had many victories as the Cubs did this year, and that wasn't supposed to happen.
No.
So, even though it's encouraging 2 one-run victories, I think both days they had more than 10 hits, so that's encouraging. And, for a team that the last thing we thought was that this team was going to struggle getting offense going, and granted, injuries have something to do with that. But I said this on the air last night with Jared Payton. I said, can we just keep Jake Berger and Andrew Vaughn in the lineup no matter what? If the rest of these guys aren't hitting, with the exception of, Jose Abreu seems to be warming up finally this time of year. And then, Luis Robert when he's been healthy, along with Tim Anderson, no one else has hit this season. So if you got guys who are delivering, and Jake Berger's done that the last couple of days, Andrew Vaughn's done that all season, keep them in the lineup somehow, some way. I know they're right-handed batters, and Tony always likes to play the lefty-righty percentage game. But, man, if you're not getting hits from anyone else, no matter how you stack the lineup one way or another, lefty, righty, or whatever, just keep the guys who are delivering in that lineup. And hopefully he finds a way to do that.
You know what? I could go one of 2 ways, but let's do it this way. How huge has Vaughn been since he's gotten in the 2-hole?
Yeah, really. And let's hope he stays. That's the other thing, Granted, he's a Hall of Fame manager, but we can pick nits with any manager, and we're doing it with Tony this year, especially when the team is below 500 and underachieving. But get your best hitters as well, as many at bats as possible, rather than he had him down 6th, 7th in the order a couple days ago in Toronto. Get those guys up in the order so you can potentially get something going. I know it only matters at the start of a game when the batting order cycles around. But in that 2 spot, he's been great. Now it's a matter of finding a leadoff hitter until Tim Anderson comes back, and getting Jake Berger in there too, because Yoan Moncada, he's battled the injury thing all season long, and when he has been in there, he hasn't been hitting. So you're at the point of the season now, as the calendar starts flipping a little bit deeper into June, where you got to start finding a way to win ball games, or else it's really going to start getting away from you. So I love Vaughn in that number 2 spot. I love anybody who's hitting consistently up higher in the lineup too.
Guys, we're joined by Chris Bowden from WGN TV, GN Sports, talking a little White Sox baseball right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Talk to me about, you mentioned, glad you led right into the next question. Yo-Yo. So Moncada has not been playing well. Is he becoming dispensable due to Berger's production? Is he going to find some time on the pine? Because there's no question Yoan Moncada is much more talented than Berger. And Berger's talented, but he's not playing well at all. And what do you do with Yo-Yo? It's not like you can't put him in for, you're going to put him in as a defensive replacement like you did Engel. Where's the direction of Yoan Moncada going?
You got to find a way to get him going one way or another. If you have to sit him out until he feels totally healthy, he went through the oblique thing, and now I think it's a thigh or a hamstring issue. But once he is healthy, if Berger's still hitting, put Moncada. He has experience at second base, and Josh Harrison is another guy that I was really excited that they got heading into spring training, because I loved his resume. He was part of a world championship team a couple of years ago. I love that acquisition. Yeah. He's another guy who hasn't been able to put it together. So, I don't know how many opportunities that you give Josh Harrison to jumpstart him, but if Berger's still hitting, keep him at third, maybe play Yoan Moncada at second base. He has experience there. You got to find a way to get that guy going, especially, he's one of the more, when he's on, he's one of the more patient hitters. And that's something this White Sox lineup lacks, because you got some free swingers up in that lineup. Moncada at least will sit and work and at bat and perhaps draw some walks. So you need him in the lineup somehow, some way, once he's fully healthy. And like I say, if Berger's still raking, why not try him at second base if Josh Harrison hasn't figured things out by then?
I hope if they do decide to put Moncada back at second, I hope it doesn't mess with him mentally, because he was a lot more, he wasn't as productive offensively when he was playing second. But now if you put him back there, does he just consider it demotion? What his thought process to me is what's going to be the most effective.
Well, at some point, if you're not producing as everybody expects, you're just going to have to find a way to contribute in any way possible, whether it bruises your ego or not. Because with the way he's hitting or not hitting, he's kind of bruising the White Sox chances as a whole, along with a bunch of other guys, from getting back to the playoffs for a third straight year. So I think he's going to have to set that aside, even though his comfort factor may be, most at third base. At some point, he's going to have to take one for the team. If he wants to be in the lineup or find a way to get in the lineup, and you got a guy who's outperforming you and outproducing you in your place at third base, hey, sometimes you got to set egos aside in order for help the team out as a whole. And that's one possibility. Goodness gracious knows we have enough guys who are DH caliber on this team, who can fill that position. I don't think you want somebody else who can do that as well without contributing in the field. So I'd love to see that guy get going. He's got to show it though. He just hasn't been able to do it. I think he's kind of been slumbering since about the midway point of last season. I thought he got to a great start last year, as I can recall. But ever since then, the production has slipped, and that's a guy that you invested a whole lot in. He was going to be one of your cornerstones of this rebuild. So he's going to have to find a way. And if it's a health issue now that's preventing him from doing that, then sit him out until he's ready, because the White Sox, unfortunately, this season have a lot of experience doing that with some of these guys.
What about Tony? Do you think he needs to maybe put him on Front Street, maybe to call him and say, hey, listen, Yoan's not playing well. We're going to give him time to rest. Basically bench him. All right. There's some players react well to being called to the carpet, being put on Front Street. We saw what happened with Kyle Fuller and Vic Fangio. Do you think he could do that? Because me personally, I would like him to be called out and say, hey, listen, we love Yo-Yo. He's going to be benched for a little bit. Jake Berger's producing at a rate that we need to be, and consistently, not just that we need, but also consistently. and you take a blow to his ego, and now everybody knows, and not keep everything silent. I would like Tony to be a little more, I don't know, maybe a little old school. It seems like he's gotten a little softer in his old age, but I am more than one for challenging. Basically, you're challenging Yoel Moncada. You're not playing well. Hell, you're the number one player in the minor league system coming out of it. You have uber talents. You're just not performing. Put up or sit on the bench for a long time.
I don't know if that's Tony's style. I don't know if it's ever really been his style. I think when it comes to Tony verbalizing displeasure, he's more along the lines of doing it with an opponent who hits his batters or something like that. I don't know if he does it so much with his own guys. And I also don't know how Moncada would take it. You have to kind of figure out that fine line in terms of how to kickstart these guys. What's going to work in an individual situation? What isn't? Right. I'm not sure if that's going to work with Yoan, but there's another way of doing it. It's just not saying anything about it other than, he's trying to find a way. He's trying to make some adjustments here to get himself going. And in the meantime, we got a guy who is hitting, and we're going to keep him in the lineup because we need it right now. So I don't know if Tony will ever call anybody out publicly, but there's certainly a way around that to do it where you don't have to say anything. The actions just speak louder than words, and the fact that you're not putting that guy in there day in and day out until he can get an opportunity. And when he gets that opportunity, it's a matter of making the most of it. Heck, Jake Berger has done that for the most part.
Yeah, he has.
Clutch in situations, and that's another thing with this team as part of the difficulties that they've been having offensively. They're putting people in position, but what was it the other day in Toronto? We saw a run taken away when there's a fly ball and
McGuire and Mendick
back. Yeah, and he doesn't cross home plate, or Mendick gets tossed out at second before McGuire. So that's an opportunity lost. In that same game, they had first and second in the ninth inning, and nobody out. And then there's a third to second double play ball, and that pretty much kills their chances. So they put themselves in position to score some runs, but they just haven't been able to finish the job. They've been doing it a little bit better here from the eighth inning on Saturday, and then again yesterday.
Yeah, well, they're going to they're going to get the best of me this year because all the talent that they have, all the expectation that they had, and for them to be playing this poorly is not only getting me, but it's entire Sox Nation a whole bunch of frustrating moments. Let's just say that.
You see the potential of this team, and we've seen it the last couple of years in making the playoffs. So expectations were even higher coming into this year, and you want them to take that next step because making the playoffs is fine, but then when you face a quality opponent, they get the better of you. And they were looking for that next step, and right now, they're not even in the conversation in terms of making the playoffs. But you look at what Atlanta did last year. You kind of hold out hope. That was a team, a game under 500 right after the All-Star break.
Yep.
They make a run, and it happened with Washington a couple of years ago as well. So, hope everybody gets on board, tries to get healthy again. You can't necessarily rely on that and hope on that because, it's a pipe dream thinking that everyone's going to stay healthy the rest of the year based on what we've seen so far. But, get enough guys going and get enough guys back in the lineup. Hopefully things start to click here the rest of the way.
They just switched strength and conditioning coaches because I was very adamant about the former strength and conditioning coaches. There were too many soft tissue injuries with these guys, and I was wondering what the regimen was, what they were doing, because an inordinate amount of number of soft tissue injuries with this team, and it just didn't seem right. Something was wrong. Do you think that they need to really reevaluate the strength and conditioning program?
Well, they did that coming into this year. I mean, they got rid of
maybe again.
Yeah, they got rid of Alan Thomas. I'm not familiar with the current trainer, and you also have to look at history now because you'd love to see what Luis Robert can do for an entire season, but he's had these nagging aches and pains and things that'll pop up. Obviously, a major injury last year that kept him out for a couple of months. But we're seeing the same thing with Aloy time and again. He had those difficulties when he was in the minor leagues in the Cubs organization. And he's continued to have those again this year. Call them freak injuries if you want, but they seem to find him. So, I don't know whether it's a one and done for this current training staff. I don't know if they jumped to that conclusion, but man, it's tough to see right when you think you're going to address a particular problem, and it continues happening over and over again, no matter what guy's working on them or what training staff is working on them. It's really disappointing. And yeah, it's been a laundry list of guys who have been unavailable. I mean, yeah, what's the greatest ability? Availability. And unfortunately, the Sox haven't had enough of that happen for them the last couple of years.
No, they haven't, and that is frustrating because the number I thought I saved it and I didn't because I was going to mention it today. The number of games that all those guys have been together, Lou Bob, TA, Bito, Eloy, the number of games is like minuscule that they've all been in healthy in the same. Right. And it's frustrating when you see those guys either not at 100% or not on the field. Man, it really gives us a lot of. If I had hair, believe me, I'd pull it out.
Well, I'll do it for you. Okay, I'll take the path and do it for you. But yeah, you'd love to see what these guys can do together, and that adds the pressure when you're not having all your guys present, and especially key guys. When those others that you expect to pick things up when you're down a man or two or three, you're looking for the Yasmani Grandals, to put up the numbers that are on the back of his baseball card. Juan Ricotta as well, Josh Harrison, and to a lesser extent, Gavin Sheets. Those guys, he had a nice rookie season, but now the league's adjusting to him, so he's going to have to make adjustments in return. So the more they have some of these other guys out, everyone has to pull. AJ Pollock's another example. Other guys have to pull their weight and pick things up until you're able to get healthy, if you ever get fully healthy. And that's added to the disappointment here for Sox fans this year.
Guys, we're joined by Chris Bowden from WGN Sports and GN Sports. Another little bit. We appreciate his time right here on Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago. Switch gears real quick for the Bears. So, I love talking Bears. Do you think they did enough for Justin Fields in the draft? A lot of people, myself included, wanted a big-time wide receiver. They decided to wait until the third round. They used their 2 second-round picks on defensive backs. Velus Jones, yes, he's got 4.31 speed. Yes, I've heard from guys who've been at camp that it translates to the field, which I'm happy about. But do you think they did enough for their franchise quarterback, Justin Fields?
Nope. But you know what? There were, and this argument has been made. We've heard it as well, and I can't argue with it either. Is that there are so many holes that this team has to fill. This is going to, Ryan Poles is in the long haul for this, and but yeah, I was really disappointed because you're heading into such a crucial season for this kid. The rookie year was pretty much, unfortunately, a waste, with the exception of him being exposed to the speed of the league, defenses in the league. I'm sure the poor kid's head was spinning at times when he was out there on the field. And the way they didn't use Allen Robinson last year was puzzling to me.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and so now you got Mooney. Now you got Cole Kmet, who I think you're number 3. Okay, kid, this is the year you really have to step up, especially in this situation when they didn't give him, additional experienced receivers to work with. It's going to be Mooney and Kmet, and hopefully, a couple of these other guys start developing and can do something. I don't know if it's going to be Pringle or St. Brown or anybody like that, but you look at what they've done so far in their respective careers, and it ain't a whole lot. Hopefully, given the opportunity here under Luke Getsy and, trying to get in sync with Justin Fields, hopefully something can develop with at least one of those guys. But for the here and now, yeah, I was disappointed they weren't able to jump up and get somebody. By the same token, you hope with the top 2 picks that he used in that second round, that 2 of the positions are taken care of for the next 7, 8, 10 years that you don't have to worry about because, quite frankly, the secondary was just as bad as the receiving core last year. But you do feel for Justin. Hopefully he gets some kind of, development going with some of these receivers that he does have. And who knows, at the end of training camp, maybe there's going to be a couple of interesting guys on final cuts that pop up. But then again, end of training camp, you're trying to bring a guy in at the last minute and try and, have them mesh into the offensive system, whatever is in place by then. So disappointing, yeah, but there are so many other issues on this team that needed addressing. I can also see what Ryan Poles was doing with what he did early on in the draft there too.
I see what he did, understand what he did, and I'm with you. Give me a big wide receiver where that this is their number one.
Mm-hmm.
And because here's my thought. Okay, you stop offense, you get a turnover, whatever the situation is, 30, they're plus 35, plus 20, whatever. You're turning it over to what type of offense?
Yeah.
Okay, you always want to go take a big shot after a turnover. Who's your go-to guy?
Right.
All right. Or but then maybe I'm overreacting because Cole Kmet did go to tight end university the last 2 off seasons, so maybe that's what they thought.
Well,
I don't know.
yeah, and the thing that Eberflus said 2 weeks ago when he was last available, the one thing that jumps out about him so far about Justin Fields, now that he's gotten him on to the field for some of these workouts and OTAs, is that he loves the long ball that Justin Fields throws.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's nice to have. Who's he throwing that long ball to? So that's the question that needs to be answered here. Mooney can get down there, but the way this roster is constructed right now, unless one of those other guys, does step up and find himself a next level that he hasn't shown so far in the NFL, some of the, veteran, semi-veteran guys that they brought in the offseason, it's going to have to be Mooney. It's going to have to be Kmet underneath, and it's going to have to be Montgomery and Herbert and some of these other running backs. And we'll see what Velus Jones Jr. is able to bring to the table as a 25-year-old rookie. Hopefully they can, work him into the mix and he can grasp this offense rather quickly because, his route tree wasn't too steep during his 3 different stops in college. So hopefully, the coaching staff can do something with him and he can get on board quickly and make an impact too.
Well, let's not forget that Tyreek Hill wasn't a very polished receiver coming out of Oklahoma State either. He was a kick returner, and that was pretty much it. He was just unbelievably fast, and that's the same thing that we have here in Velus Jones. So hopefully he can become 3/4 of the receiver or of a Tyreek Hill, because if he does, Lord have mercy, Justin Fields is going to have one heck of a time with that young man. Older young man, but a young man nonetheless. Hey, Chris, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it. Do me a favor, though. Let everybody know where they can find you and your work online.
Bowden Tweets on Twitter, just my last name, BODEN Tweets. And Facebook is just Chris Bowden, and you can check me out there. And I think Channel 9 wants me to get a little more involved in some of the other social media streams too. So we'll start working on that too. But again, great being with you. Say hi to Mom, Shawn. Sorry,
we'll do
a little bit earlier, but great chatting with you. And give me a ring anytime you want to talk some more. All right.
I appreciate it. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Take it easy.
All righty. Guys, that was Chris Bowden from WGN Sports and GN Sports. Great talking with him, man. He's one of those dudes that could talk anything. If I want to talk Blackhawks, he did the Blackhawks radio pre and post for a while. I had to ask him about Bears because he's one of the voices that I associate with the Bears. Southsider, so he understands my love for the White Sox. You could talk baseball, football, basketball with him. I could have kept him on till 11, till Darnell came on, and they kept him on then. There were just so many different questions we could have had, and not even with the Sox, with the Bears. But yeah, great dude, man. Really, really great dude, and I appreciate his time. Man, you talk about like committed. Like he was at the auto deal as the mechanic, and then he couldn't get there. And then he texted me, he's like, dude, I'm going to run home and get on. And, sorry about that. It happens, it happens, and I appreciate him coming back on with us and spending his time with us. And it was great stuff as always. And, I appreciate it. Well, listen, let's take a quick break. And on the other side of the break, we're going to have more sports conversations. So don't go anywhere, folks. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
At a time when the news seems as subjective as the partisan politics dividing this country, independent professional journalism has become the resource people need to get the honest and accurate information for their lives. That's why I created JQuinnReports.com. As a born and raised Chicagoan, I know this city better than anyone. So my investigative stories are all original, and they'll go deeper to expose the truth by using information obtained from public information databases and in-depth interviews with the movers and shakers. My feature stories will introduce you to people and businesses who are changing the world, not just Chicago. My missing person stories will spotlight those who you don't hear about in the mainstream media who are often overlooked. If you want to hear my personal views on things around the world, check out my blog site, which is based off of factual information and my life experiences. There's also past episodes of my weekly sports podcast show, What's Up Cuz, that I host with my real-life cousin, Lance Urban. So if you're looking for all this information and more, check out jcoydenreports.com and follow me on Twitter at jcoyden.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago. The White Sox held off the Rays 6-5 on Sunday. Jake Berger had a 2-run double during Chicago's 4-run first. Yasmani Grandal drove in 2 more on a check swing opposite field single. Andrew Vaughn had an RBI double. Luis Robert added a run-scoring single in the second to make it 6-0. The Rays rallied with a solo homer in the 5th and then a 4-run 6 that pulled them within 1. White Sox starter Lucas Giolito gave up 5 runs, 2 of them earned, and 8 hits over 6 innings. Liam Hendricks, the 3rd Chicago reliever, worked the 9th to get save number 16 this season. In 11 innings, the Cardinals beat the Cubs 5-3. Juan Yepes singled home automatic runner Nolan Gorman to lead off the 11th. Genesis Cabrera tossed 4 innings in relief of Adam Wainwright and got the win, throwing a perfect 11th. The Bears will be back on the field today and tomorrow for OTAs. They'll also work out on Thursday. Mandatory minicamp starts June 14th. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago.
Get Macy's lowest prices of the season and save big on summer style essentials, like 50 to 60% off all designer suits for an effortless touch of cool, 40 to 75% off fine jewelry to complete any look, and get ready to jet set with Tag Ridgefield luggage sets just $74.99. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. Sign up for free at Macys.com/Star Rewards. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Hi, Tom Bodette here. Have you ever noticed how people talk in that same weird voice to their dogs? Just like this? Well, it sure gets a dog's tail wagging. Wondering if I can get your ears all perked up the same way when I tell you that pet stay free at Motel 6 with a clean, comfortable room and a great low rate. Now, who's a good human? I think you are. I'm Tom Bodette for Motel 6, the proud sponsor of pets, and we'll leave the light on for you. Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago in this House Music Monday edition. I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra. Thanks for tuning in. We just got done with Chris Bowden from WGN Sports to GN Sports and talking White Sox. Oh, that was frustrating. I told him if I had hair, I'd pull it out. And talking Bears. You know, let's finish up with a little more Bears conversation before we wait, as we await our next guest at the top of the hour, Darnell Mayberry, because at that point we're going to talk NBA Finals. And whoo-wee, that's going to be one heck of a conversation. I asked Chris, I said, do you think the Bears did enough to help Justin Fields? And not even a hesitation. I don't even think I finished. And he said, nope. I agree with him. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to still continue to support my Bears. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to critique them. Here's a picture of Velus Jones. And here's some of the stuff that we're hoping he can do here. All right. He's built like a running back. He's got big legs. He breaks tackles. Oh, yeah, by the way, he does have 4.31 speed. Look at break tackles. Boop. Okay. This is the type of stuff. And you know what? If this is the majority of the stuff he's going to do, get it and break tackles. Okay, cool. All right. I also want him to be able to use here. He's Vanderbilt. Looks like it.
I got to applaud Nomad for his perfect timing almost seemingly every single day when it comes to Bears talk.
Yeah, he times in right at that time. Like, whoa, Bears. Yeah, this kid, I don't see him going up and getting it. Okay. Now, maybe he doesn't have to. Listen, if he can be a deep threat, like our deep threat, okay, because he literally just runs by people, I will dial back big time. If he could be like a Tyreek Hill, like Tyreek Hill's not very tall. They have him listed what 5'10", 5'11", which means he's like 5'8", 5'9", give or take. If he uses that speed to become that type of receiver, then okay. Then obviously you saw a lot more than I saw, which is why you guys get paid the big bucks. But if he doesn't, if they're going to use him in crossing routes, which could still be effective, don't get me wrong. I talked about the mesh routes, the crossing routes they're going to do to free him up, okay, and let him run away from people. If you do that, fine. But then you better go get a number one receiver next year. You better go get a 6'3". No, give me a 6'4", 6'5" dude on the outside who can go catch anything. Anything. Because now you have him. Now you have Darnell Mooney. And now you have this guy. You talk about 3 different levels of receivers that you have. Not to mention Cole Kmet. Remember, Cole Kmet went to tight end U 2 years in a row, so he should be good now. Now you're looking at a wide receiving room that I'm like, okay, now we could do something here.
I just need them to make catches. Do your job. This is what I want them to do. Do your job. Darnell Mooney, same thing. Do your job. You don't. The best players will play. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't say it's pretty plain, pretty blunt. The best players are gonna play. And I think if these guys just kind of relax and don't go in it like, man, we got to go light the world on fire, they might just do that. You know what I mean? They might just overachieve or just become something that we weren't expecting. I think they need to really just put their trust in Justin Fields. And I think Justin, the way he talks about his receiving room, the way he, the leader that he is, I think there's going to be a better output with this receiving core than, even last year's and the year before that, no doubt. But it's not going to be like all worldly. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're still going to need an emergence of Velus Jones. You're still going to need to see Darnell Mooney take another step. Byron Pringle and Equanimeous St. Brown, like we talked about before, they're on prove-it deals. So there's a lot to be proved. I like the talent. I like the talent, and I like the quarterback. And I like the quarterback's talent a hell of a lot. So if Justin Fields could he already has a connection with Darnell. If he starts to get connections with these other guys, man, it could be we could be good. We could be good, and then we could look to make a big splash and maybe free agency next season, or just look to add another young receiver in the draft with the whole allotment of draft picks that we have next year. I'm going into this year just like, let me see what you have. Prove it, right? Like, I'm sitting here at 6 wins, 8 or 9 if they overachieve. Like, I want to see it on the field. Make me excited again.
Yeah, it's because a lot of Bear fans are like you. They're not excited. All right, they're sitting back and waiting and seeing. And Nomad talked about my pessimism, lack of big names. Part of it. But you know what? The Raiders for years didn't have a wide receiver that ran over a 4.5. Everyone's under a 4.5.
Darius Hayward Bay.
Darius Hayward Bay, Maryland. I want to say University of Maryland. So the speed isn't what excites me. It's what they do with the ball. Okay, can you get open? Can you create separation? Can you break tackles? Can you go up and get it? Can you win the 50-50 ball? Chris talked about why it was so weird that they didn't use Allen Robinson last year. Justin loves the deep ball. Well, you can go deep with Allen Robinson. Now, he's not going to run by you, but he's going to jump up and get it. Why didn't you use Allen Robinson in the red zone last year? Why don't you say, hey, everybody to the right? Okay, we'll have Allen Robinson and the Cole Kmet on the left. Cole Kmet, you run right at the goalpost. So you occupy that safety if they had a single high. You occupy that safety.
I'm not gonna go back. I'm not gonna go backwards. I'm gonna say this. Cole Kmet this year needs to be a factor, right? You saw what happened when you pretty much put him on notice, right? He started to make some catches. He started to make some catches. Not all of them. We started to make some catches later on in the year. Some tough catches. This is no more training wheels for him, right?
No, you're right.
If he doesn't gel with Justin, they went ahead and got 2 other tight ends that might gel with Justin. Jesper Horsted gelled with Justin. So there's somebody's like Justin has a talent to go ahead and make other players better. You know what I'm saying? So if he can't make Cole Kmet better, then Cole Kmet is just who Cole Kmet is, and he has to go. But like I understand where you're going at. I think what happens in the red zone is definitely more focus on the run. Probably heavier sets with some motion in it, but I think play action is going to kill him. Play action is really going to kill him in the red zone with Justin Fields and his ability to roll out, just move bodies, right? Justin Fields gets moving, everybody has to go ahead and account for Justin Fields, because if you don't get back, his ass is going to right to the end zone. He's going to run right by you. So you got to be aware of Justin Fields. I just, looking at it this season, I'm just heavy run. I imagine heavy run. We all talked about it, heavy run. But then I just can't see. Maybe it's because I'm guessing with Luke Getsy. Maybe I'm guessing San Francisco. Maybe I'm guessing, Green Bay. Maybe I'm just guessing here with what the passing game is going to look like. But I just imagine heavy run and a reliance on that play action pass with Justin Fields as a threat. I keep it simple, stupid. You know what I mean? Just keep it simple, stupid. Like nothing crazy. You're gonna have guys like Nomad said that are gonna be able to run past some guys down the field. Let's see if Justin could complete some passes. Let's see what happens as they grow. But for now, I'm just play action in the end zone. Use Justin Fields as much as you can, because last year I was skeptical because of the coaches. This year I'm still kind of skeptical because of the roster. But with Justin Fields, I don't believe there's going to be a setback. I think Justin Fields is ready to take another step.
I do too, bro. I honestly think Justin Fields is ready to explode. There's a lot that goes on with being a rookie. I've mentioned it before. Like, you have to know where you live. You're first of all, find out a place to live. You have to know the route. You have to get acclimated to the team. And then the way he got brought in, you're not the starter. All right, he's a starter. But guess what? You're going to get some time, and guess what? Now you're starting game 5. It was just a cluster mess with him, and there was a lot of this ish that he had to deal with, and he doesn't have to deal with that anymore. You're the man. You're the dude. Get everybody in order. Get some chemistry. See, and you know what? And you go be Justin Fields. It just that alone gives me a lot of joy and contentment. If they just say, hey, you be Justin Fields. That's all we want you to be. Not Russell Wilson, not Aaron Rodgers, not anybody else. I need you to be Justin Fields. Do what you do, because no one can do it like you. So, listen, we got to take a quick break, because on the other side of the break, our guy Darnell Mayberry and I are going to have a phenomenal discussion, because there's so many different angles to talk about this NBA Finals and how it's been played out after the series is tied 1-1 yesterday, as Boston heads back with the home court advantage in basically a best of 5 now, with 3 games in Boston and only 2 would be remaining in San Francisco. So a lot going on, a lot of mind games, a lot of sight games going on. We're going to talk to our man Darnell Mayberry from The Athletic on the other side, so don't go anywhere. Keep it locked right here. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago. The White Sox held off the Rays 6-5 on Sunday. Jake Berger had a 2-run double during Chicago's 4-run first. Yasmani Grandal drove in 2 more on a check swing opposite field single. Andrew Vaughn had an RBI double. Luis Robert added a run-scoring single in the second to make it 6-0. The Rays rallied with a solo homer in the fifth and then a 4-run sixth that pulled them within 1. White Sox starter Lucas Giolito gave up 5 runs, 2 of them earned, and 8 hits over 6 innings. Liam Hendricks, the third Chicago reliever, worked the ninth to get save number 16 this season. In 11 innings, the Cardinals beat the Cubs 5-3. Juan Yepes singled home automatic runner Nolan Gorman to lead off the 11th. Genesis Cabrera tossed 4 innings in relief of Adam Wainwright and got the win, throwing a perfect 11th. The Bears will be back on the field today and tomorrow for OTAs. They'll also work out on Thursday. Mandatory minicamp starts June 14th. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago.
Get Macy's lowest prices of the season and save big on summer style essentials, like 50 to 60% off all designer suits for an effortless touch of cool, 40 to 75% off fine jewelry to complete any look, and get ready to jet set with Tag Ridgefield luggage sets just $74.99. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. Sign up for free at Macys.com/Star Rewards. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Hi, Tom Bodette here. Have you ever noticed how people talk in that same weird voice to their dogs? Just like this? Well, it sure gets a dog's tail wagging. Wondering if I can get your ears all perked up the same way when I tell you that pet stay free at Motel 6. With a clean, comfortable room and a great low rate. Now, who's a good human? I think you are. I'm Tom Bodette for Motel 6, the proud sponsor of pets, and we'll leave the light on for you. Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago on this House Music Monday edition. Guys, I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra, and my next guest, good friend of the program. Good to have him back. He covers the Bulls for The Athletic. You can find him on Twitter at Darnell Mayberry. Guys, just welcome back to Shawn and Maya, Darnell Mayberry. Darnell, what's up, Papa? How are you?
I'm good, Shawn. How are you this morning?
I am wonderful, man. Tired as a mug after my CrossFit workout today, but I'm good, baby. I'm good.
It's supposed to energize you, isn't it?
Yeah, until your body's like, okay, now I need to recover. I'm good for like the first 25, 30 minutes after. And then when you get in the car, then you get home and you're like, oh, man, I was like, oh.
How long have you been doing that, CrossFit?
A couple years, man. A couple years.
Yeah, I've never tried it.
It's good. If you like intense, see, remember I played football for the majority of my life, bro. And so I need sick, intense workouts, you know, to release my stress. And Lord knows there's a lot of it. And so that's the one place, you know, and then I played football for so long, I was able to do that and hit people and not get arrested. And when I stopped playing, I'm like, okay, I need another outlet. Yeah, I needed, yeah. So I found that and I love it, man. I love it. So it's my release. It's my heaven at 5 a.m. in the morning, 4 days a week.
Gotcha.
Hey, that game last night, NBA Finals Game 2 was insane. Talk to me about this. You know, the Golden State Warriors, they won. They had to win because they couldn't go down. They couldn't go to Boston down 2-0. Do you think the Boston Celtics did that? Bump it in the second half? We got what we needed, and it just kind of went through the motions. Or do you think Golden State really just put it on them and won that game without Boston kind of waving the white flag in the second half?
You know what is interesting, Shawn? I watched these first 2 games of the finals with an anonymous NBA coach in the back of my mind, because we wrote an article at The Athletic quoting an anonymous NBA scout, coach, and executive. And I did it with 2 other coworkers, and I did the coach, and the coach was telling me that, you know, he predicted the Celtics would win the series. Oh. And he thought that the Celtics would win game 1. He said this. He said that he thought the Celtics would steal game 1 and lose game 2, mostly because they would have been in San Francisco for almost a week. They got out there last Tuesday or Wednesday. They've been in San Francisco all that time, and he just knew from experience, when you're in a city for that long, sometimes it's just really hard to replicate that energy that you have in game 1, where you come out and steal a game, as they did. And then I'm just hearing this. as I'm watching these two games, and I'm saying, yeah, this is how it looked. I mean, the second half, it really got away from the Celtics, and I don't think you can say they were going through the motions. I mean, the Warriors knew that they couldn't go to Boston down 2-0, like you said. And then you got to think about the crowd, Steph Curry getting it going after struggling early. Jordan Poole starting to get it going a little bit. Draymond Green doing all the little things that he does. So I just think that was the game for the Warriors to win, so they didn't have to go back to Boston down 2-0.
Yeah, I was concerned. Boston they've taken big blows from the defending champs. Game 6, they were facing elimination, and Jason Tatum's like, no, we're not going home yet. All right, in Milwaukee, Game 6, facing elimination in Milwaukee on the road, and he steps up. So I have to give their head coach so much credit for keeping this team focused, for keeping this team calm, for not letting the wheels fall off the cart because you're down on the road or you're so many things that are against you. I have to applaud them, and not only do I applaud them, but I applaud them for buying into it and believing and say, you know what, you're right. They did just go on a 10-0 run. It's okay. It's only the third quarter. They did go on we are down 14 in the fourth quarter, or 12 going into the fourth quarter. We still got 12 minutes. Their mindset has to be applauded, but it has to come from somewhere, and I believe it's their head coach.
Yeah, Ime Udoka has surprised me as a first-time head coach in the NBA. It's a guy that he was on the Bulls' radar. We talked about
he was
potentially being here in Chicago. And Arturas Karnisovas worked with him in Denver. So that was even more smoke where you thought maybe he could end up as the Bulls coach. And I just kind of doubted Boston a little bit because they've had a history of flaming out in the playoffs, and also because they had a first-year head coach. But he seems to have pushed all the right buttons this season and has gotten the most out of those guys like Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart, Robert Williams, and Jaylen Brown. So, and you know what you're going to get from a guy like Al Horford. So you got to give a lot of credit to Ime Udoka for the job he's done as a first-year head coach.
How much pressure is on Boston to win Game 3? Because they don't want to give up that home court. Because if you lose, it's a dual-edged sword. If you lose Game 3, okay, well now you're back to where you started from. You don't have home court, but now you can't lose. You look at Game 4, like I can't lose Game 4, just like the Warriors couldn't lose Game 2 because you can't go back down to Golden State down 3-1.
Yeah, and this Golden State team is not the Miami Heat. Don't get me wrong, but Boston just showed in the Eastern Conference Finals that they can mess around at home and then go and steal Game 7 on the road. So
true, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I mean, so they're a confident team, and their defense is going to travel wherever they play. I mean, their defense, it didn't travel in the second half last night, but their defense is going to travel, and it would help them to not lose one of these two games in Boston. But I think that they can go back and win another one and get Golden State, whether that's game, what is that? What would be 6? They're going for 3 and 4. Yeah, so 5 or 7, I guess it would be.
Yeah, 5 or 7 in Frisco. How much better these role players are going to play? Role players usually don't play well. Like you just talked about defense travels. Role players usually don't play as well on the road as they do at home, which it may not be the case here because Boston's 8-3 on the road. But you're going to be back in the Garden, the TD Garden over there in Boston. How they got the home crowd, the craziness of those fans. How well do you think their role players are going to play this Wednesday? I couldn't remember what day it was. This Wednesday.
You saying Golden State's or Boston's?
Boston's.
Well, I mean, Derek White has surprised me. Every time I think Derek White's not going to, replicate what he's doing, shot making and playmaking. He comes out and he plays well. So, he's a key. Al Horford, those types, the Robert Williams, those complementary pieces. I think those guys know their roles and really understand them at this point to where Boston is confident that they're going to get big performances from Jason Tatum. Jaylen Brown's going to give you what he can on offense and also defensively, and then Marcus Smart. But then those other guys have really performed well. I think that's a big reason why Boston is where they are right now.
Oh, undoubtedly. You saw Tito had a phenomenal game in Game 1 yesterday. He had 2. points. 3 of their starters had 2 points. Like that's definitely not gonna get it done in the NBA Finals. But talk to me about Draymond. Draymond was doing all the little dirty, nasty things that Draymond does to get under their skin. How much did he get under their skin? Because Draymond, I know it's not cheap shotish the way the Detroit Pistons used to cheap shot you. It's more of annoyance, but it's more of a, I don't know. He's kind of like their bully, or he's the muscle, in my opinion, for the Golden State Warriors. How much did he stand up to that team, and how much did he get into their head yesterday? Remember, he who was it? Was it Smart saying he was trying to pull? Or was it Tatum said he was trying to pull down his pants on one of the one of his shots? Just little stuff like that gets in your head. Tell me how important that is for this Golden State team, for Draymond to be Draymond and not get kicked out, which he didn't do yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't, like, no one else on that team is going to do it. So he's the guy. And I think the rest of the league knows Draymond Green's tendencies. They know what some of his little antics are. And I think for the most part, teams are prepared, especially the Celtics team that's Eastern Conference champions. They're experienced. They're not going to let that get to them. But I did like what Jaylen Brown did. His legs were on the man's head. And he said, "Look, get your legs off my head." And what's your take on that sequence, Shawn? Did you think Draymond should have been kicked out in that moment, gotten a second technical?
Yeah, I did. I did, but I think that unfortunately, sports is so political, is driven, ratings driven. I think that plus Draymond has a reputation, so he gets his line sometimes is blurred. There's no specific line you cross that it's automatically technical. So with him, he gets away with a lot more stuff because of his reputation. And I think the magnitude of the situation, the finals, kind of made allow them to have a slow whistle on that second technical.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't kick him out, but the rule follower in me is like, man, rules are rules. How are you gonna let this guy just continue to start up all of this stuff and not give him that second technical repeatedly too? I mean, it's not just one game. This always happens.
Yeah, guys, we're joined by Donnell Mayberry, who covers the Bulls for The Athletic, talking NBA Finals right here on Shawn and Maya in the Morning, Sports Zone Chicago. Have you seen? Because I haven't seen him play really that much. Klay Thompson. Because that dude couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. How bad does he need to step up? He came up with 11 yesterday, but he was 1 for 8 from beyond the arc. How huge is he going to be on Wednesday? They need this joker.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Game 6. That's Game 6. Klay Thompson's game 6.
Okay.
This is too early. He's not worried about Games 2 and 3. He's waiting for Game 6. Then he'll show up. I think he'll be all right. I actually thought he was going to turn it around in the third quarter. He came out, hit a 3, got a layup, kind of started to get going a little bit, but just could never really turn it around. But that's, they call them the Splash Brothers for a reason. It's not just Steph. Klay is going to be okay. I think he's going to make shots in time.
I hope so, because what I was, watching the post game yesterday, and Jalen Rose was mentioning, which I didn't think about, and he said what they're not doing, they're not letting Klay do what he loves to do, and that's catch and shoot. And they're making him put it on the floor, and apparently it worked. He wasn't as effective with that because we've seen. Remember would he have like 60 something points or 50 something points, and he had like 7 dribbles the whole game.
Right.
He just catch and shoot, and there goes to the coaching and the scouting. And this is what happens when you get into series where you find these little nuances that help your team. You think he can come out of it? Because if you wait till Game 6, I don't know, baby. He might be. It might not be. There might not be a Game 6 if he doesn't start shooting better Wednesday.
Yeah, he'll be all right. I think the one thing the Warriors could do a better job of. I mean, first off, they gotta play better defense and get out and transition a little bit more. If he can get out and get some easy ones in transition, that'll probably get him going. And then if they move the ball a little bit better, more consistently, they move it. They're one of the best teams at moving the ball. But if they do that consistently and where he's not having to take his man off the dribble and he can just catch and shoot, I think those two things are going to get him going easily.
Can Steph continue to play at this rate? because Steph doesn't have an Finals MVP. He's got damn near everything else, but he doesn't have a Finals MVP, and I know that will solidify him. And I think he could already be close to the conversation, one of the greatest of all time. I think he's there, but I think just to solidify it, you definitely want a Finals MVP, especially since you've won 3 to this point. He doesn't have one yet. But can you think he can continue to play at this level that he's played at?
Yes, for sure. But I do think he's going to get, if they win it, I think the narrative is for him to get Finals MVP. I was debating with a colleague the other day about the 2015 series when it went to Iguodala and the job that he did. I didn't have a problem with it then because of the job he did on LeBron in that series.
Right.
LeBron shot under 40% in that series, and that wasn't because of Steph Curry. Steph had one great game in that 2015 final. So, I do think that it is set up for him, the history, the narrative, his place in the game's history. All of these different things are shaping up for him to win it this year if the Warriors indeed win this final series. But he's got to continue to play well. He's gotten off to slow starts, he's gotten off to hot starts, and then kind of faded. So he's got to be consistent. We saw that even in game 1 and 2 of the finals already. So if he is, I think he's going to win it.
Talk to me about this young buck. And I don't know how young he is, but G League phenomenon. Talk about the Poole party himself is Jordan Poole. He's stepped up big all season, and he is huge yesterday. Talk to me how important he is going on the road to have, especially if Clay isn't on, to have this guy kind of be the third, the long lost Splash brother, so to speak, and step up in Boston.
It's not just him; it's also Wiggins. Those guys got to be able to step up.
Did it take Wiggins like 7-10 years to finally become the high school prep sensation that he was?
The number 1 overall pick.
Holy jeez.
Yeah, I mean, but you know what? I mean, it kind of shows it takes time for some of these guys. Everyone's not going to come in and have the confidence of an Anthony Edwards immediately, or like a Luka or a Trae Young. So sometimes you just got to kind of give it some time and let it play out. I know it's hard for us as observers to be patient, but every player is different. And Jordan Poole had time in the G League last year, and they developed him, and shows you the importance of player development as well. They developed him, and now he's contributing in a massive way. Like you mentioned, maybe the third or fourth. He might be the second if Klay Thompson, can't get it going. I mean, they might have to rely on him to be second option next to Steph Curry. So he's going to be huge, especially on the road. I mean, they're going to need everyone to be able to contribute, and Jordan Poole's a big part of that.
What do you think they're going to do to stop Steph? Because what the Golden State Warriors are doing, which is just beautiful. They're setting screens with the big guy. So now you got a Tito Horford. You got a big guy who really can't mess with Steph, and they're playing that drop defense with Steph. So Steph comes around off that screen, 3. What are you going to do? Because if you bring him, if you blitz that screen and roll, and Steph gets the ball, well, guess what? Steph's going by you. You want Steph going to the hole. So, and if you collapse, then he's going to kick it out. What do you think the Boston Celtics are going to do to stop that screen and roll? Because they're going to keep screening with a big guy to create the mismatch. Steph on whatever big guy that is defending the screen setter.
I'm sorry. Did you just say what are they going to do to stop Stephen Curry?
Yeah.
Nobody's stopping Stephen Curry. I mean, you better hope he misses shots, but you're not stopping him. He's going to get his no matter what. He might struggle from a shooting efficiency standpoint getting there, but I think he's going to get his. I think the best the Boston Celtics can hope for is to stop everyone else. Make sure that the Wiggins, the Pools, the Loonies, the Draymonds, all of those other guys don't hurt you. In addition to Steph and Clay, because if that happens, then you're going to lose at home. But Steph is probably going to, be the engine and continue to get his effectively.
Yeah, because that dude came in with, just across half court. I mean, just right outside the logo. Like you just, and it's crazy because you can't pick him up 3/4 court. All right, because if he goes by and now it's 5-on-4, and then someone's going to be open in the corner or somewhere, and you can't pick him up and the other side of the half court because he steps over and he's going to pull and most of the time he's going to make it. He is one of the most difficult challenges. And people started, you get this bout of just being recent. I think people talk about how phenomenal of a shooter he was. I think Chris Jackson or Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf was this guard before Steph Curry. Maybe not as good a shooter, and I think he had the possibility to get to that point if he didn't get blackballed. Give me your thoughts on Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, more than that, him specifically, there's a lot of guys who could have maybe shot, not the way Steph Curry does, but back in that day, as you know, like, you took these shots that Steph Curry takes now, you're getting yanked from the game.
You're on the bench.
Yeah. And he does it 7-8 times a game. Not like
and no one bats an eye.
It's 7 or 8 times a game, and these are the same shots that back in the 90s, guys wouldn't be on the court taking these types of shots. So it's just a totally different era, and you would have liked to have seen some of the guys from the past be able to come out here and have the freedom that these guys do now. But yeah, Steph is special, man, and it's incredible what he's able to do. He is the best shooter of all time, and people say he's more than that. And of course, he's a great player, but everything centers on his shooting. I mean, off the dribble, off the catch, from long range, from mid range, he can shoot in every way imaginable, and no one's ever been able to do it like that.
Boston going back, got to win Game 3. What's the one thing that they have to do in order to secure Game 3? Because they're gonna even if they lose Game 4, like you said, they're okay on the road. You just maybe not want to go back down to Boston 3-1 like they did in Milwaukee, because now you got to win 2. So what do you think? What's the one thing, if you had to pick, that Boston has to do on Wednesday to make sure they win?
I would just continue to point to their defense. I mean, they are the best defensive team in the league, and it's what's gotten them here. If they can do that and limit some of these perimeter shots, some of the scores for the Warriors, they're going to have a good chance to win Game 3.
Okay. Switch gears real quick. Zach's a free agent. Your thoughts, man? They giving it to him or not? They giving him that max. The Bulls are the only team that can give him that much money, that many years. Nothing's going to be done now during the finals. But what your thoughts, man? And, you see a whole bunch of stuff that's clickbait. He's going here. He's going there. LeVar Ball said he wants to go to LA. Blah 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 blah. So give me your thoughts, man. What do you think? What do you think Zach's going to do?
Yeah, Shawn, I've written this. I think I wrote it last month, where I said the concern, if you're the Bulls or a Bulls fan, is that I don't even think Zach LaVine knows what he wants, and he has admitted that. He told us that in his season-ending press conference with us, that I asked him straight up, "What do you want? What are you looking for in free agency?" And he said he doesn't know yet. And that kind of is the dangerous thing when you're dealing with someone who doesn't know what they want. That's unpredictable. And it could be money. It could be a different location. It could be different teammates. It could be a different coach. But only he is going to know what that is. I know the Bulls want to keep him. And I think they're confident that they're going to be able to re-sign him. The question to me is not whether the Bulls want him. It's a matter of whether Zach LaVine still wants to be here.
How much do you think Clutch Sports plays a role in this? He's with LeBron's Clutch Sports, but I'm looking at it like, dude, like there's no way to leave what was 178 over 212. So what's that? 20, 30, almost 40 million, 30 plus $1 million on the table. That's tough, man. That would be tough for someone to walk away. And I know we see him doing more advertisements in that goofy ass Mountain Dew commercial. Like, I would have said no to that outfit, but it depends on the size of the check.
I'm about to say, what would be the number to make you say yes? Because everybody's got a price.
Yes, Mr. Ted DiBiase, you're damn right they do. You're damn right they do. So you see him do that. You see him do the insurance, with Madge, or the insurance commercial. So he started to do more commercials, getting more money. He's just signed a deal with New Balance. So he's got a shoe contract, which after his one with Adidas is up. But still, dude, that's $30+ million you want to leave on the table? Because I don't know. So if the Bulls do sign and trade him, so they can give him the max and then trade him, who would you like to? If that happens, who would you like to see the Bulls get? Donovan? Gobert?
There are options. There are definitely options. Some disgruntled players throughout the league. DeAndre Ayton's another name that you're hearing out
Yeah.
there. Although Zach and Devin Booker, that probably wouldn't work out there in Phoenix. But there are options available if the Bulls feel like he just wants a change of scenery. And so I don't have a name that says, oh, this will be a perfect fit. But I'm just curious to see what the Bulls are going to do and how Zach and the Bulls are going to handle it this summer, because this is a pivotal point in the franchise's rebuild, because they made all these moves and they did it to make Zach the kind of the centerpiece, and now they're at a pivotal point where he could get away.
Yeah, and he wasn't the centerpiece the last season. DeMar came in, kind of made it his team. Everybody's talking DeMar. I kind of saw Zach kind of fade in the background a little bit, like, okay, you can kind of take this shot type deal. And then Vooch. Well, what do you do with Vooch? Vooch, they brought him over for his versatility. He was shooting over 42, 44%, something like that, from 3-point land down in Orlando. Now you get him here, and he couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. What do you do with that dude, man? Because that was the whole reason he's here, because of his ability on the pick and pop to kill you from beyond the arc, and he's not doing that. And he's not banging people and posterizing people down low. So, like, what is his purpose?
Yeah, I think the Bulls still like his versatility. He wasn't elite at any of that this season. But he's a great passer. Yeah, right. And he wasn't consistent at it, but he's a great passer. He can rebound. He can shoot. He can score inside and out. Defensively, he's a little bit subpar at times, but he's also but he's also giving you everything he has to his capabilities. So they like his professionalism, they like his versatility, and they like his experience. And I think for those reasons, they're going to take a hard look at everything, but I also think they want to keep him because of those traits that he brings. It's not hard it's not easy to upgrade and replace those things that he gives you. I mean, just go back to right before they got him, they had Wendell Carter Jr. and Daniel Gafford out here, and it looked kind of like, real sloppy with those two young guys. So, yes, it could be better, but it's not easy to upgrade from what they have already.
Where's Gafford at? I know we saw him. I don't remember. Where is he at? Do you remember? Okay. Yeah. I liked him. I liked him a lot. I liked his energy. I liked his physicality. I liked him a lot. Okay. Hey, Darnell, great stuff, buddy. I appreciate it, man, as always. But do me a favor, let everyone know where they can find you and your work online.
We're at theathletic.com, and I'm on Twitter at Darnell Mayberry.
Hey, great stuff, up. I appreciate it, man. Man, this will be a big game, game 3. I want to see how these Warriors can go on the road and do it. So, hey, good stuff, man. I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Looking forward to it. Have a great week, Shawn.
All right, likewise. All right, guys, that was Darnell Mayberry from The Athletic coming out talking NBA Finals and a little Bulls. I want to see his take on the Bulls and Zach, what he's thinking, and Vooch. And, remember, I don't know if you remember when we had Fred Pfeiffer on, right? See Red Fred. And, Fred's on it. He's one of those diehard, you got a whole bunch of diehard White Sox fans, diehard Cub fans, diehard Bears fans, diehard Bulls fans, diehard Hawks fans. And, all the stats of all their players. And that's Fred with the Bulls. And he was talking about Vooch shooting in Orlando before he was here. He was over 40% from beyond the arc. You give us a 40% three-point shooter in Vooch, this team's completely different. This record is completely different. We might get out of that first round. Okay? We might. Not possible, not a guarantee. We might. Put it this way. The reason I say that is because we wouldn't be facing the Milwaukee Bucks. We wouldn't be facing the Milwaukee Bucks. We'd have been up closer to the 4 or 5 area. I'm trying to picture him meaning Vooch, shooting 40% from beyond the arc. Because if he does that, he gains confidence. And you know how I would like to play Vooch. Get him down low. Okay. Start little jump hooks, little this, little that. Try and get people in foul trouble, then bring him out a little bit. All right. So he can put it on the floor. He can hit off the glass. He can hit the mid-range game. All right. Maybe, even next year, you get 1 3 per quarter. If you make it, you can shoot another one. If you don't shoot till next quarter. That's how I would coach Vooch. But yeah, he's a huge part on what happened. How confident do you feel that he can get back to high 30s or low 40s from beyond the arc? Because if he does, then that changes the outlook of everything. Because don't forget, you got Lonzo Ball coming back, or he should be back. All right, he was a 40% 3-point shooter before he went down. And then you got a big man. So now you pick and pop with a big guy. You pick and pop with Zach LaVine, or hopefully he's here, or DeMar DeRozan coming around. And Vooch is popping back behind the 3-point line. He's hitting at a 40% clip. It changes everything. Or what if you pick and pop with Lonzo Ball? What if a guard covering Lonzo Ball is 6'3", 6'4"? Now Vooch can shoot right over him. It's a whole different animal. I don't know. We're gonna find out what they decide to do. They got to figure out what they're gonna do with Zach LaVine. Well, not what they're gonna do. What he decides to do. The Bulls have no options right now. The Bulls they're hoping and praying, because if he wants to walk away and sign with someone else for nothing and leave him high and dry, he can. He can walk away. I'm done. Yeah, it's over here in Chicago, and you don't get a damn thing. So the Bulls need to make sure those negotiations, and they're with Clutch Sports, so they have to make sure those negotiations go well. They need to offer him the max. Right? They're the only team that can offer him 212 million for 5 years. The most any other team could give him is 4 for 178. That's what 78, 22 plus 12, $34 million. Leave it on the table if you want to go sign with someone else, if it's not a sign and trade. $34 million is a career. It's more than a career for many NBA players. And just to leave that on the table, put it this way. I don't know if I'm Zach, how can I have confidence in my representation if they tell me to turn that down and go somewhere else? How can you, because your job as representation is to get the most for your client. Don't worry about the off the field, off the court endorsements. You want to get paid for your on-court performance. There are far too many people in the NBA who got the max who don't deserve the max. I think Zach is one of them. But I also think Zach is what's needed for this team. If you're trying to build a championship team, I think Zach is a great piece. He just happens to be coming up on contract this year. Timing is everything, huh? Timing is everything. You don't believe me? Go ask Jake Arrieta. Ask Jake Arrieta if he would rather have come out of his contract be up after the 2016 season or the 2017 season like it did. Yeah. 2016. Trust me. Listen, we got to take a quick break, and on the other side of the break, all right, it's the last break of the show, and have a little more conversation, a little sports conversation. So keep it locked right here, folks. Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago.
AutomotiveMap.com presents the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago. The White Sox held off the Rays 6-5 on Sunday. Jake Berger had a 2-run double during Chicago's 4-run first. Yasmani Grandal drove in 2 more on a check swing opposite field single. Andrew Vaughn had an RBI double. Luis Robert added a run-scoring single in the second to make it 6-0. The Rays rallied with a solo homer in the 5th and then a 4-run 6 that pulled them within 1. White Sox starter Lucas Giolito gave up 5 runs, 2 of them earned, and 8 hits over 6 innings. Liam Hendricks, the 3rd Chicago reliever, worked the 9th to get save number 16 this season. In 11 innings, the Cardinals beat the Cubs 5-3. Juan Yepes singled home automatic automatic runner Nolan Gorman to lead off the 11th. Genesis Cabrera tossed 4 innings in relief of Adam Wainwright and got the win, throwing a perfect 11th. The Bears will be back on the field today and tomorrow for OTAs. They'll also work out on Thursday. Mandatory minicamp starts June 14th. For lightning fast sports updates, download the Score app. It's free and one of the most popular sports apps in North America. I'm Chuck Sanders. That's the Sports Flash on the Sports Zone Chicago.
Get Macy's lowest prices of the season and save big on summer style essentials, like 50 to 60% off all designer suits for an effortless touch of cool, 40 to 75% off fine jewelry to complete any look, and get ready to jet set with Tag Ridgefield luggage sets just $74.99. Plus, Macy's Star Rewards members earn on every purchase except gift cards, services, and fees. Sign up for free at Macys.com/Star Rewards. Savings off sale and clearance prices. Exclusions apply.
Hi, Tom Bodette here. Have you ever noticed how people talk in that same weird voice to their dogs? Just like this? Well, it sure gets a dog's tail wagging. Wondering if I can get your ears all perked up the same way when I tell you, that pet stay free at Motel 6. With a clean, comfortable room and a great low rate. Now, who's a good human? I think you are. I'm Tom Bodette for Motel 6, the proud sponsor of pets, and we'll leave the light on. For you. Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
Welcome back to Shawn and Maya in the morning on Sports Zone Chicago on this House Music Monday edition. We just got off with Darnell Mayberry from The Athletic talking NBA Finals, and tell you what, it's going to be one heck of a rest of the series, one heck of a game on Wednesday. You brought up a great point. I'm like, yeah, they don't want to go back down 3-1. And he's like, well, they did win Game 6 elimination in Milwaukee. I was like, you know what? You're right. But they would have to win 3 straight games. Yeah, and I don't know how that would play out. I think Steph is on a mission. I think this Golden State Warrior team is really looking to etch their name in history. All right, 6-8. All right, similar to the Bulls. Okay. Then all of a sudden you get started. You're talked about as one of the greatest teams of all time. Okay. I mean, they won't be because the 72-10 Bulls were and won the title. Who won the title, unlike the 73-9 Golden State Warriors teams who didn't. But I digress. You're in that conversation. All right, you're in that conversation, and I think that's 6-8 is phenomenal. That is phenomenal. And we were talking with Darnell, and he was that everything's set up for Steph Curry to get the Finals MVP and just literally cement his legacy, cement that team, and put that team in the conversation. When people talk about, like here my stupid old school, my non-realistic old school people, because I'm gonna get off my lawn type of guy as well. All right, but I'm realistic. All right, so when they remember they had the JJ Redick and Bob Cousy thing, and they're talking about put some respect on his name, and Bob Cousy and all, and Hall of Famer, blah 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 blah. And I said, look, yeah, be respectful, okay, but also the older guys need to be respectful of the younger guys. Okay, the talent. There's no way on God's green earth Bob Cousy could play in this NBA today. He was 6'1" in his Chuck Taylors. He only dribbled with his right hand. Dude has a set shot. Put Gary Payton on him. Pick him up 3/4 court. How amazing is Bob Cousy then? Oh, not to mention, there were only 8 teams in the league at that particular point. 8 teams when Boston won all those championships. I had to keep reminding my friends that when I was at Holy Cross, there were only 8 teams back then. It's like you have the best team in the neighborhood, and you can't switch teams. There was no free agency.
Park League. That's like the best Park League team.
Yeah. And it's every year they win it. Every year they win it. Oh my God, they're great. They're okay, yeah, but the talent wasn't. They hadn't gone overseas. The European The foreign athlete wasn't involved. Barely had any white dudes playing. I mean, black dudes playing. Let's keep it real. Put Gary Payton on that Joker 3/4 court coming up. Put Scottie Pippen on that dude.
Yeah, you have to unmute yourself to talk, Maurice. You're on mute.
You're on mute, Maurice. Well, put Scottie Pippen on. Put Scottie Pippen on that Joker 3/4 court. He ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, Bob Cousy is the Daniel Boone of basketball. When it comes to this new basketball, he don't have a chance, bro. I mean, he got a little slight chance, but not much. Not with the athletic play. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Nah. And his inability to, like, you put his game. Don't say if he had access to training and all the other stuff that everybody has now. No. Because he didn't have that back then. If you take his game back then and put it here in today's game, hell, even in the 90s, no way, shape, or form would he be anywhere near a Hall of Famer.
It's just like what Will Chamberlain said. I can score 75 points in this new league. And he was referring to the league when Michael Jordan was playing. I don't know about that. Because he was having trouble with Lou Alcindor, a.k.a. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, when he came in. So, I don't know if you're talking about Shaq, Akeem Olajuwon. Nah, bro.
No, there are too many big guys back. Not even talking even the great ones, like the Rich Smiths. All right, don't forget Alonzo Mourning. And then you had some power forwards as well who would switch off on him. I don't know about that, but I don't think he'd score that many points. His game, though, would translate to any era because of his power. It's just he wouldn't be as dominant as he was.
I think he'd score like 25 points.
Yeah, he'd be 20, 30 points. No. 20, 30 points, 10 to 15 rebounds. Yeah, because he was pretty athletic. Watching tapes of him, he was pretty athletic for being a guy that had size. And so, yeah, his game would translate to this particular NBA or across any generation, any era, even in the 90s when it was a little more physical. He was a wiry, strong dude. He could have got it. They would have had the hack of Shaq, the hack of Wilt rules like they did Shaq. So yeah, but just older guys need to be respectful of the younger guys, and more importantly, they paved the foundation. Vice versa. Yeah, younger guys need to be, more respectful because they paved the way for bums who don't deserve max contracts to get max contracts, like Kent Bazemore. All right, remember Kent Bazemore? I met him. He came in with when I was doing head of security at the Under Armour store. I didn't even know who he was, and he had got the max contract. I'm like, what? Like, how does this dude? Who are you? Like, I didn't even know who he was. So like, be grateful to the people who came before you, laid the groundwork, okay? But also, old guys, be respectful of the young guys, because you know what? It's not that easy. We look at it and say, oh, it's easy, blah, 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 blah. It's not that easy. Think of all the guys that try out. Think of all the D1 basketball players. Think of all the guys in the G League. Think of all the Euro players who are now coming over. It's not easy.
Which Shaquille know, man? Which Shaquille O'Neal?
I don't know about that.
Which Shaquille O'Neal? Are we talking about Orlando Magic? I feel like we talked about this. I feel like we talked about this on the Smoke Fellas. Which Shaquille O'Neal? Orlando Magic Shaquille O'Neal, where he was still wet behind the ears? Are we talking about dominant Shaquille O'Neal on
Lakers Celtics?
Are we talking about
Celtics?
Shaquille O'Neal?
Like, Cleveland Cavaliers?
Yeah, which one are we talking about?
That's Shaquille.
Yeah, those Shaquille. Okay, but I'm talking about late 90s, early 2000s Shaquille O'Neal. Nah, I don't think so.
Wilt never
I don't even say. I would say in certain instances, LSU Shaquille O'Neal.
No, see, here's the thing.
He was dominant.
Listen, Wilt Chamberlain never faced anybody as big, as powerful, and as aggressive as Shaquille O'Neal. He faced some really good Boston Celtic teams, Bill Russell being the focal point of it. But Bill Russell was nowhere near as big, as strong, as physical, and as shit-talky as Shaquille. You get dunked on you, Shaquille pushes you to the ground, talks smack in your face. That's a whole different thing. And I'm not saying Wilt would back down from the talk. No. What I'm saying is now you have that. Now you got a guy who's going to look you straight in the eye like it's on me versus you. What you got? You didn't have that. Now it was a team you had to deal with. But when it's a one-on-one, come on, man. No.
You had the big man was George Mikan. So he was like 6'10".
Paul's very own.
Right, Chicago's very own. George Mikan. So those guys, Bob Cousy, just enjoy your retirement and enjoy the game as what it is right now. Don't worry about it. Because you, like you say, he was only like 6'1".
Yeah, dude. And could only dribble with his right hand. Stop.
Right.
Stop it.
Stop
it. I'm gonna make you go left. I'm gonna sit on your right hand all game. I'll do it now.
Right.
I'll do it now, dude. Stop it. But no, all kidding aside, that's crazy. That's crazy, man. Well, listen. The what is it? Oh, never mind. I was looking at something else. Well, I want to bring my guy Ivan up. Man, it's been 3 hours. It's come and gone, almost come and gone. But I definitely want to give my guy Ivan. We want to say for many of you, most of you didn't realize today's Ivan's last day. He's moving on, and we are eternally grateful for everything he's done here at Sports Zone Chicago. Just about everything you see on here is Ivan's work, and we appreciate it, and we wish him nothing but the best. I know he wanted to kind of address it, just talk to everybody real quick, because Ivan's become kind of a little celebrity and shit now. So
yeah, I guess the mustache is more a celebrity than I am. But no, I'm going to be taking time off from the camera and stuff. Just I got my son's going to need heart surgery here, and within the next couple months, I think we're going to go ahead and address it. Some other family, I've time to focus on the family a little bit more for me. So I want to go ahead and not take away from either Shawn and Maya, the show and everything I built here. And I feel like I'm being torn in so many different places. So I think focusing on my family is a must right now. And that's kind of where I'm going to go. Also for me, I'm physically exhausted, like running a show, and it's hard. Like Maurice has already got an idea. You gotta be on everything at all. And that's kind of how I am. I never really like to do anything half-ass when I love it so much. So right now I feel like I'm being torn a little too much in a little too many different places. And it's not anything against Shawn and Maya. It's not anything against everybody here has been great. Shawn and Maya, Jason Palmer, Lance Irvin, Kenneth Davis, all the Smoke Fellas, Jamar Harp, everybody's been great. It's time for me to go ahead and focus a little bit more on myself and getting my house right. You know what I mean? Just taking care of business here. And I don't know if it's going to be goodbye forever, but right now that's what I'm going to be doing. So you might see me helping out maybe once in a while, but it ain't going to be it's not going to be as it was, at least for now. I don't know how long it's going to be, but I'll focus on the family, with the boy having to go and get heart surgery and everything like that. I think that's where I need to be.
Yeah, that's where you need to be. And we appreciate that. And, if there's anything that we can do, I mean, I'll talk to you off the air about it, but I'm here for you.
Definitely.
I'm here for you. No, nothing more. I'm here for you. And there's definitely some stuff I wanted to talk to you about before, and it'll probably be sped up a little bit now. But yeah, again, we can't. Sports Zone Chicago can't thank you enough for everything you've done for us. Literally everything has your fingerprints on it. If this was a murder scene, you'd be suspect number one, because your DNA is all over it, your fingerprints, your hair sample, your everything. We appreciate you. You've built us up to this point, and we're gonna miss you for the time that you're gone, and whether it's temporary or whether it's permanent, we don't know. But we're gonna miss you big time. I can't even put that into words. I can't. I can't even talk shit to Maurice. He's a Sox fan, so we can't talk shit about that. So, I can't know our Sox Cubs BS, but I understand family first, and that is so true. At least for me, the ones that I still talk to is family first. So, I appreciate you, and my prayers are with you and the wife, I can't even imagine what the hell that is going through your mind. I can't even. So, you have our blessing, and you have definitely our prayers here for you and little man, and hope he, if he does go through that surgery, he comes out on the other end healthy, and 20 years from now, this will all be a distant memory.
And he definitely will. He definitely will. And you know what? By me knowing you these past couple of weeks or days or whatever, same with you, Shawn. I really appreciate it. I had a lot of laughs, a lot of fun, and like you say, you got your DNA all over this place, man. So you.
It sounds dirty sometimes a little bit.
Pause. But
pause. Yeah, there you go. Thank you guys. Thank you guys. I can't thank you guys enough.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna miss you, bro. It's definitely gonna miss you, man. It's not like we're not saying goodbye forever. It's if we have any more Milwaukee trips, you're definitely invited. We're definitely not staying at the Death Hotel, that's for sure. So he'll be around, but he just won't be on the show in the meantime. So again, we're gonna miss him. There's nothing that man. It's difficult when you have to, say see you later to somebody who's helped you build something for, and we're in the right direction, and we're in the right direction. We're literally still building, and it's going to be difficult, but man, understand. I understand completely. And I don't think anyone has can say that they don't understand why you're stepping away. Family first, be there for your family. And that's the most important thing. That's a sign of of a great man. And a lot of guys don't get it. A lot of people don't get it, family first. And they're like, well, I still got to work. I still got to do this. But your family needs you first. And, I appreciate, again, everything you've done for me. It's going to be tough, but, and like I said, if you're, you got a time to come on and just shoot the shit or help out, that'd be great. And, we're definitely, doors definitely open. Shit, you got the key, so it doesn't even matter. So, it's good. And well, listen, we're gonna, on that sad note, it's not sad, it's just somber. It's real. Real. Unfortunately, life gets in the way sometimes, and we got to handle it. My hat's off to you for going there and being there for your family. And again, just a sign of a great man. So 3 hours is come and gone. I would definitely want to thank my guest Chris Bowden and the efforts he had, because he couldn't be on camera today because he was getting his car fixed. He had an appointment to fix his car, but he's like, I'll still come on. And then when he came on, the Wi-Fi, the signal wasn't good. So he texted me. He's like, dude, he goes, I'm gonna go home and I'll come on then. So he came on later. Man, you talk about just a guy living up to and honoring his word. Chris Bowden, I really, really appreciate your efforts today, because you could have just said, hey, we'll come on. I'll just come on another day. And it would have been fine. Would have been cool. I get it. I wouldn't have been angry. But he was like, no, let me get on. I promise you today. Basically, I promise you today we'll do today. So big shout out and thanks to Chris Bowden for coming on. And a big shout out to Darnell Mayberry coming on, talking NBA Finals with us. That was awesome. Love talking with Darnell, man. He's a hoop head from Jump Street, man. When the first time I interviewed him, he was on the show, I knew this guy wasn't just a reporter covering basketball. This guy knew basketball, so it was good. So those two guests, and then Joseph Phillips, for coming on in our top of the morning segment. Good to have him back. And we and then you guys, all right, Michonne, Cornelius, Patty, Junior. Who else? I know I'm missing a few people. Nomad, it's good to see you back, and Predator Cornelius. All you guys make this show what it is. Brandon, it's fun. That's why this show is one of the best shows around, because of your interaction with us, and your questions, your comments, your smart ass remarks. So we appreciate your love and support. Also want to thank Elliot Baez, our executive producer, Clarence Council, our social media guy, and my co-host in absentia, Maya Kai. We all want to thank you guys for the love and the support. So we're going to take a 45-hour break, and on the other side of the break, we're going to have more sports conversation on Wednesday. It'll be game 2. Wednesday night will be game 2. So we're going to preview the NBA Finals game on Wednesday. So you're not going to want to miss it. Make sure you tune in with us 9 a.m. to noon, same bat time, same bat channel, 9 a.m. to noon Central Standard Time on Wednesday. So for Elliot, for Clarence, for Maya, for my guy, Ivan Vargas.
Peace.
Guys, I'm your boy, the Superback, Shawn Sierra. We will see you on Wednesday. And again, Ivan, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
I gotta give Maurice a shout out now too.
And you know what? And our new intern, Maurice, who's gonna be running the show. Maurice, big shout out to you, Papa.
What up, though? I appreciate y'all, man. I appreciate this opportunity. I appreciate, man, Ivan, everything we've done. I still need some work at it. I'm trying to work. I don't want to be like a chicken with my head.
Yeah, you have my number. You got my number. Just hit me up. Like I'll be able to help you out with whatever. You know, if you stumble upon something.
Yeah. So
cool, guys. Listen, make sure you keep it locked right here. Sports, Second City Sports is coming up next with Lakina McGee and Sydney Brown. You're gonna want to listen to them. Great stuff. So till then, guys, you have a good one. We will see you. I got 2 more words for you, folks. We out.